Well, I saw 5 crock pots in the hospitality room, so that's a good sign.
Saw what?
5 crock pots in the hospitality room.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and run down there and grab some water. You want one? Or
yeah. Soft drink if they have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if they're ready yet or not, but you can check. It's right there. It's the library.
Across in the library.
Exactly. But there's several ladies in there getting ready. Welcome to Radio Row. Sure. It's supposed to be Oxford Radio, so are they going to do? Okay. Yeah, exactly. We came up here and did the regular season games at South Panola. And I was going to say, when we did the regular season games up here, that meant Columbus clinched both, the #1 on both. And I told Anthony, I said, so the best thing about this trip is when we come back, it will be 4 and 5:30. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a little live radio here.
Are you covering both?
No, I meant Oxford. Oxford's not going to do radio for the girls.
Yeah. I seriously doubt that one's doing radio for girls. He's going to do it for the boys.
Okay.
Quite frankly, he's not going to cover a 4 and 22 team.
No, I understand that. See what the crock pots have in a minute.
I'm not sure if they're open.
Yeah, right.
I walked in with Coach Woods, so I just followed followed him in. I got whatever I wanted.
Yeah, Ben said they're gonna do the boys only.
What now?
Ben said they're only doing the boys.
Which makes sense. You want to do it like last time?
We can.
Okay, let's do that. That worked well.
I continue to not do well, so I continue to have massive coughing spurts. So if I pass or kill over or struggle for a moment, you just know what to do.
I'll jump in, finish the call, and then at a break, if necessary, call 911.
Perfect. Because Batesville is exactly where I wanted to go out at. We'll have Ben should do live stats here in just a second.
Oh, great.
He normally does for Oxford. He's got his gadget.
So he's all set then.
Yes.
Have I met Ben before? I don't think
I don't know.
What's his last name?
Michael, Mikell.
No, we have not met.
Yeah, he's there. He's there all everything. Their stat guy and everything.
Okay.
He was a godsend for all those years over in the region with New Hope. So
I'll have to go say hello. Well, good. Well, just in case, I'll keep.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
But then we'll have.
I was gonna say, he said follow on Twitter, but that I'm assuming he'll do the stats.
He
here
should.
in a minute.
Okay.
They normally do.
You're listening to 91.1 FM, WMSV, Starkville.
It's time for Columbus Falcon Basketball on 91.1 WMSV. Join us as we follow the Lady Falcons and the Falcons as they both make runs towards the state championships and the Big House in Jackson. Let's now go live courtside. Voice of the Falcons, Scott Walters.
All righty, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Batesville, Mississippi, South Panola High School, the campus. Getting set for Region 2 6A High School Basketball Tournament action. We have reached the postseason, Anthony Craven. This is the big night. In these 4-team regions, 3 teams make the playoffs. So you want to come and enhance your seeding and win a district championship. But at the same time, tonight is the play-in game, so to speak, the chance to advance and reach the postseason. And that's what everybody in October began the season hoping to do, wanting to do, striving to do. The Columbus girls come in on quite a winning streak, 7 in a row. They are the top seed in this region. If they are to win this tournament, then certainly a first-round bye and a chance to play at home in the playoffs. But for now, the focus is on 4th-seeded Oxford and trying to win day one here in the region tournament, which also gets you in, but means you're at home in the first round for sure, and then you would be playing Friday for a bye to get to the second round there to start the playoffs.
So essentially, Scott, regardless of opponent, biggest game of the year tonight for all teams that are playing tonight, but for right now, the Columbus Lady Falcons.
Yeah, and that's what that's a rant for another day. I don't like the fact that the regular season means nothing.
Correct. I was going to lead off with a question about how odd it is that so many of your games from October through the first 2 weeks of this month are essentially, you don't want to say meaningless, but in terms of earning something tangible, you don't earn anything tangible in this format until this playoff begins. So here you go, a chance to actually get something tangible, a win, and you've bought yourself at least one more week of play in this 2017-2018 season.
It's also a little disappointing in that Mississippi is a state where there's no shot clock, so you can get into the postseason, have a lower-seeded team hold the ball against you, and then all of a sudden that 20-21 win season, those 2 regular season wins you have mean nothing. Columbus comes in 17-5 overall. They finished the region 5-1. Oxford is 4-22. So the Lady Chargers had made the North State Finals 3 straight years. Took a step back a year ago, winning only 10 games, and then this year, even a younger team has really struggled. Columbus swept the season series, winning by 14 at home and by 32 on the road in Oxford. So certainly, Columbus has the capability. If they play to their potential, it should be a good night and a good way to start the tournament.
And these two teams played just last week in a makeup game. They were supposed to play early in the district schedule, but then we had that ice and that snow move through North Mississippi. So they played last week on a Monday night. We had that game on our airwaves. Jackson and Michael were there, did a good job calling both the boys and girls games. So two teams who are very familiar with one another, about to do battle for the third time. And you're right, Columbus won easily last week. Had a few issues a month ago in the first matchup, but still won convincingly. And I would expect we'll see Columbus be able to pull away again if they're able to perform somewhat near their capabilities. Time now for the playing of our national anthem. Quick break here on 91.1. We'll come right back here with more Columbus basketball on WMSV. Meal plans aren't one size fits all. That's why MSU students can choose from 7 different options designed with your schedules and lifestyles in mind. MSU Dining offers 23 on-campus locations with hours ranging from 7 a.m. to midnight for flexibility around your schedule. And MSU faculty and staff have 2 meal plan options. Both are payroll deductible and never expire. You can check out your dining options at msstatedining.com. Feed the dog inside. The national anthem has been performed by the South Panola Choir, and we are set for tip-off here in a few moments after we meet the starters for both the Columbus Lady Falcons and the Oxford Lady Chargers. Alongside Scott Walters, I'm Anthony Craven. And Scott, as we get set here for this district tournament hosted by South Panola, the predetermined, before the year started, host site, is it fair to say that Yvonne Hairston and the Lady Falcons are playing their best basketball of the season?
Yes, there's no doubt about that. They've had a little more offensive balance here of late. Kind of gotten a few more players into the scoring column. They've been real good defensively throughout the season. Some of the younger players have stepped up here in the late part of the season. They've had some comfortable wins, so they've been able to play more of the bench. And certainly it's a team with no seniors. Potential is real high for next year, but they want to finish strong this year as well.
They are led offensively by Hannah White, who has had a fantastic season. The last time that we called a game that Hannah White took part in was in this gym, Scott, when Columbus wrapped up the 1 seed 2 weeks ago playing at South Panola, and Hannah White went off, had a big-time game in that one, especially early in the first half.
Indeed, and that's been the challenge. That's kind of atypical for them. They try to get other players into the offensive flow early because they know what Hannah's going to bring to the table. And so they try to get 2 or 3 other scorers off going early. But that was the reverse of the norm, where Hannah just came out firing from the get-go. But certainly she's the kind of player, does it all offensively and defensively, and can pick up the slack when whichever area Columbus is struggling in. She's certainly their best player and can pick up the slack.
The starters for both teams have been announced. Oxford will have Metcalf, Zion, White, McGee, and Ducksworth. So White, McGee, Zion, Metcalf, and Ducksworth, the starting 5 for the Lady Chargers, who Scott mentioned are 0-6, winless in district. They are the 4 seed, and they'll take on the number 1 seed, the best team in the district during the season, the Lady Falcons of Columbus. Lady Falcons will have Bree Smith, along with Sadler and White in the starting lineup. Also Hardin and Snell. Snell, Hardin, Smith, White, and Sadler, your starting 5 for Columbus.
In the jump circle for Columbus is Deanna Smith. The tip is controlled by Columbus in the backcourt. Hannah White brings it into the front court, and the Lady Falcons will go on the attack first to start the game tonight. The pass is out on the flats to Hannah White. Gives it underneath. Shot on the way by Sadler is no good. Rebound pulled down by Oxford. The Lady Chargers struggled against the press in the regular season meeting in Columbus.
And early on, you see a turnover, but I believe they're going to rule it out on Columbus, and Oxford retains possession.
And we'll see if Columbus elects to go early to the pressure, or if they simply wait to see what kind of game flow we have going before they do that. The Lady Chargers into the front court. Ball is knocked loose. Oxford regains possession, though. And again, Columbus, this time the ball is thrown away. The Lady Falcons active in the passing lane. That was Bree Smith and Hannah White that teamed up there to get that turnover. First turnover of the game, and Columbus will get it back on offense in a scoreless ball game. Lady Falcons this time driving into the lane. Shots on its way from about 15 feet out. It's no good by White. The rebound is put up and is scored by Benaiah Harden, and Columbus is on the board first.
Nice job by Harden. White's jump shot was short. Harden saw that early, got the rebound and the putback.
Oxford now on the offensive attack. The top of the key dribbling is Celia Zinn. Passes it to the left side, and again we have a travel violation. Kamara Haya, is that what we're going with? Kamara Haya White on the travel call, number 3.
I'm just calling her K White.
Okay.
How about that?
I can go with that. So Columbus again with the defensive pressure early, forcing a couple of turnovers. And the Lady Falcons will play it on the offensive end. 3-point shot is on its way and is good. It looked like for a moment there, I thought she was up against the line, but apparently Sadler was one step behind it, or half a step behind it, and she was able to hit the 3-point basket. and Columbus is on top 5-0.
You know, it's college ball. They would say, mark that. We'll go to the tape later and take a look at that.
We could go to the hospitality room, though, while they look at it. There's no... You have to look at positives to all of this.
The silver lining.
Shot is no good by Columbus. And Oxford clears out the rebound. And again, the Lady Falcons so far are just content to set up in their half-court defense. Three-point shot on the way by Oxford is good. And raining that three-pointer home there was Calcia Zen. And a timeout is called by Columbus. I don't think Yvonne Hairston liked the defensive setup that time. Columbus was beaten back in transition and gave up a three-point basket. 5-3 ball game, Anthony, 5:44, so about 2 minutes in. And the Lady Falcons again trying to set the tone on the defensive end.
Trying to, but like you said, early timeout from Coach Hairston, which signifies someone or someone's plural was not doing their job defensively. And she did not like it and is trying to send a message here early to her club. Despite the blowout over Oxford last week, she wants to make sure her team, I would imagine, understands the urgency of the moment. Like you said in the pregame, this is a win and you're in scenario in terms of making it to next round's playoffs.
Now Columbus now with the basketball in the backcourt, and they get it up against token pressure. Hannah White passes it to the outside. The Falcons reset it with Benaya Harden again. Passes underneath, and driving to the basket was Anaya Sadler, and she's called for the offensive foul. Sadler called for the charge as she was attempting the layup, so Oxford will now get the possession in a 5-3 ball game.
That was an odd call, and I believe the referee actually said Bree Smith was a guilty party. On the other end, Oxford gets a bucket, a layup, and we're sitting here tied at 5.
Indeed, 5-5 is your score here. And so they must have called the foul away from the...
They had to have,
away from the play. Okay, top of the key shot on the way inside the three-point line. No good this time is Hannah White, and the rebound is fought for, and there's a foul underneath.
And I'm glad they called that foul away from the ball because there was no foul at the point of contact with the offensive player who had the ball in her hand on that last possession. The Oxford foul is on McGee, her first, team's first. A non-shooting foul.
This time the pass is underneath. Columbus with the layup attempt is no good. Oxford clears out the rebound. They lose the handle on it, but then regain it, moving into the front court. This time we have Oxford moving in transition and Columbus not set underneath, and the foul is called. And this time it is on Sadler.
Yeah, this time Sadler is the guilty party. Her first foul, team second.
Oxford with the three-point shot on the way. It is no good. Columbus clears it out. The rebound.
That was a heat check from Zen.
It was. This time Columbus answers on the other end. A two-point shot by Anaya Sadler, who is one step inside the lane.
So Sadler has 5 for Columbus, and Zen has 5 for Oxford right now to lead all scores.
And the Lady Falcons now back on the defensive attack, trying to protect the 7-5 lead. Our friend Kay White throws it underneath. The shot is no good, but the putback is good. Brianna Ducksworth missed the initial shot, and Zariah Metcalf with the rebound and putback for Oxford. And the teams are again tied at 7.
A really good start for Oxford.
Hannah White drives inside the lane, dishes off at the last minute. Shot is up and no good. And Oxford clears out the rebound, and they've got an outlet pass. And simply moving too fast with the basketball, call for the travel was McGee, and that'll turn the ball back over to Columbus.
That's not who Oxford wanted in a fast break situation. She was open, they got the ball to her, but if Coach Orman had to pick, he would not pick McGee to be in that spot.
This time, Columbus answers on the other end.
It's a nice move by Kiara Hughes.
It was. And that makes the basket good for Columbus, and the Lady Falcons take a 9-7 lead. This time, Oxford turns the ball over. Columbus overplaying the passing lanes, going all the way in for the layup. And the basket is Hannah White, and she's fouled. And so she'll have opportunity at a three-point play.
The first 2 points tonight for Hannah White. And she went strong to the rim against a double team. They're going to whistle for Oxford on the foul. Zinn, her first, team's second foul.
White to the free throw line. Free throw is on its way and good. Three-point play completed. Columbus with 5 straight and a 12-7 lead. Inside 3 minutes now, first quarter, opening game of the Region 268 tournament here at South Panola. Heavy pressure again. Columbus with a tie-up in the backcourt. Possession arrow will go to Oxford.
And all of a sudden, Columbus now turning up the pressure. Full court defense, really trying to suffocate Oxford and make Oxford uncomfortable.
Yeah, again, that's White and Harden leading the defensive charge, which is normal for the Lady Falcons. This time, heavy pressure again, Oxford, and we have a whistle underneath and a foul called, a holding foul called underneath the basket.
And I think they're going to get Hughes.
They are, that's correct.
So Hughes whistle for the foul. Columbus's third foul. For Hughes, her first foul.
Oxford with the inbounds. The pass is underneath, and we have contact, and again, another foul. This one will be on Hannah White.
And that'll be her first, and all of a sudden the fouls becoming a bit of an issue. 4 of them here in the first quarter called against Columbus.
Yeah, they need to quit calling all that stuff.
Thus saith Scott Walters.
Yeah, I've got things to do tomorrow. This time the ball is stolen. Hannah White intercepts the inbounds pass, comes down, calls for her own number from three-point range is no good. Rebound out of bounds, and it will be played by Columbus. The Columbus boys will be in the second game. We'll have that one for you as well against South Panola. The Falcons swept South Panola during the regular season, so they also will be looking for a third win. This time Columbus is called for a travel outside, trying to move to the basket. And that was Sadler again that tried to drive and hit the layup in the lane, but was called for the travel before she could get the shot away. This time Columbus now picking up with the backcourt press. And Oxford does penetrate it, get it into the front court, but the shot is no good. A good defensive effort there by Brianna Smith, who altered Brianna Duckworth's shot. And this time Oxford's now called for a foul.
It's been a while since Oxford got some points. Columbus playing tougher here the last couple of minutes.
The inbounds by Columbus. Hannah White with the basketball, passes it on the side to Sadler. They are trying to post up underneath Hughes, and we have a whistle and a foul.
So now both teams have 4 fouls. And we'll see exactly who they called that on. For Oxford, it's McGee. So McGee and Zinn both have 2 fouls for Oxford.
Here is the inbounds by Columbus. The pass in the flats underneath now. And the shot is on its way by Hughes. It's blocked by Oxford. And the Chargers get the outlet pass, and they have it into the front court. But again, heavy pressure, and the ball's knocked loose, goes out of bounds, and last touch by Oxford. So Columbus will have the possession.
Every pass getting deflected right now. Hands in every passing lane defensively for Columbus.
The Lady Falcons now into the front court. This is White on the outside, passes it underneath to Sadler, who passes it in the lane to Brianna Smith, who hits the basket from a couple of feet away. And Columbus has scored 7 straight. And this time again, the heavy pressure. The Lady Falcons have applied the full court press the last 2 trips down now. And the ball was again thrown away by Oxford. And Columbus will play it with a 14-7 lead.
A quick sub for Oxford as McGee comes out and Cook comes onto the court for the first time. 1 minute to go, first quarter.
The Lady Falcons on the offensive attack. Shots on its way and good. And this time that was Hughes on the basket.
Hughes with 4 first quarter points, and that one was a tough shot off the bank, off the backboard. I'm not sure Hughes called glass. She was laughing as she ran back down the court. And now a steal on the inbounds pass. Harden's jumper no good. And a whistle on the rebound. We're going to go the other way. Foul will be on Columbus.
Yeah, we were wondering again how quickly the Lady Falcons would start applying the full court press. And here midway through the first quarter, when the teams were tied at 5-all, they kind of got into that, applied more pressure in the backcourt, and that has led now to a series of turnovers. Oxford now again playing it against that press, and again we have a whistle on a foul.
That's going to be foul number 6 on Columbus. That last foul was on Harden. This foul is also going to be on Harden. So Harden now in a bit of foul trouble, has 2 of them here in the first quarter.
The Oxford Lady Chargers throw the ball underneath. Shot is up and good. And that time that was Metcalf who got loose underneath the basket and is able to convert the layup.
First quarter winding down, less than 10 seconds.
Passes underneath, and it is stolen off by Oxford, and they won't get a shot off. I was wondering, we have one scoreboard that says 18 and one that says 16. That's odd. It is 16-9.
It is. I think we have on this scoreboard to our right, the bulb at the top is always on, regardless of what the number is, and so it's a bit misleading.
That's the end of one quarter of play. Columbus leads Oxford 16-9. We'll have the second quarter for you after this timeout. Columbus Falcon Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All righty, set to go with the second quarter of play. Bernaya Harden with 5 points to lead Columbus. Balanced scoring here in the opening quarter of play. And the big story was the turnovers. Columbus, once they got into the full court press, able to create some havoc and pull away from what was a 7-7 tie.
Yeah, that was extending the defense full court, changed the way that first quarter was going. Oxford was way too comfortable the first 5 minutes. Columbus changed that now. Not in control, but certainly ended the first quarter playing really well.
The Lady Falcons will go right to left here this quarter. They go first on the offensive possession. The ball is thrown in. They take it underneath again, and the shot is on its way in the lane and good by Kara Hughes. And apparently, Anthony, that's been a point of emphasis, getting her posted on the block tonight.
And a good job on the fadeaway jumper now twice.
Oxford now on the other end, they are able to beat in transition the Columbus players back, and hitting the layup was Ducksworth. So both teams have now scored here in the second quarter, and Columbus holds an 18-11 lead.
And that is the danger of playing full court man-to-man, is if the long pass beats you, it's an easy layup on the other end.
This time about a 16-foot jump shot is on its way and good for Columbus by Anaya Sadler. And she pushes the Columbus lead now to 20-11. Still on the inbounds, and again an easy uncontested layup by Brianna Smith. The pass was intercepted by Sadler on the inbounds, and she fed it to Smith, who's underneath the basket. This time Columbus a little over eager on the press, and we have a bump in the backcourt and a foul called.
And that's team foul number 7. So we're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way, starting with the 1-and-1 now for Oxford. That foul was on Hart in her third.
Free throw is on its way and no good. Putback, though, is put up and no good. Second offensive rebound is scored this time. And again, Ashley Cook takes advantage. Columbus simply standing there flat-footed on the rebound.
And Coach Harrison not happy with the way her team's playing defensively in this second quarter.
Lady Falcons throw it underneath again. Smith, the shot is up and no good. Oxford with the rebound. The Lady Chargers get it into the front court. And this time a foul is called.
That's going to be on Hughes. She had position underneath Scott, but was trying to draw the charge, but then leaned that shoulder over and bumped Zinn, and that'll be called a foul. That's 8th team foul, second foul on Hughes. And I believe they're going to stay in the active shooting here, so 2 free throws coming up for Zinn. So Oxford, a chance to keep it close at the free throw line.
Yeah, at the free throw line will be Zinn.
Got some confusion at the scorer's table. Perhaps they too are confused as to what the score actually is because of the scoreboard over here to our right.
Free throw is on its way and good. Zinn hits the first of 2.
She has 6 of Oxford's 14 points.
It's so much drier inside the South Panola basketball gym. I can't tell you how many text messages I've gotten today. Second free throw is on its way and good. I have not been banned from the South Panola campus. That's what people are asking me on text messages.
Not yet, you haven't.
No. I plan to be here. Shot on its way and no good. The rebound is knocked loose. Oxford has it. Columbus then steals it back. 3-point shot on the way from Hannah White. Again, no good. Rebound out of bounds. Columbus will play it. We can work this out. I like South Panola. We can work this out.
Can't we all just get along?
We can work this out. All I needed was a blanket during football season. Throw a blanket on me, we would have been fine.
A tarp on the roof and a blanket on Scott.
We'd have been fine.
That's all we asked for.
The pass is underneath, and the basket is good. And this time Columbus scores it, and that is Duriana Smith. And the Lady Falcons have pushed the lead back to 9.
The Columbus post players playing really well in the first half.
Anthony, again, they're just trying to get more players involved. If this Oxford comes back on the other end, we have a basket score but a travel called. Columbus can win this game. They know that they have the better team in this game. But you want to be a good team next week and the week after that. And to get there, you're going to have 4 or 5 players contributing offensively. And this time, the drive to the basket by Benaya Harden, and she scores it. Did an excellent job of pulling up, not committing the contact, and then hitting the 6-footer.
Because she has 3 fouls already. Got a block on the other end here.
Yeah. Not the best call ever in this gym.
9th team foul. Boy, 9 team fouls for Columbus, 4 for Oxford. That foul whistled on Bree Smith, her second.
Free throw is on its way and bounces around, and it's no good.
To your point, though, Scott, it can't be Hannah White doing it all for Columbus if they want to make it to Jackson and have a chance in Jackson to play for a state title.
Indeed, and this is one of those type of situations where, yes, the pressure's on, and this is a must-win, but at the same time, you can get other people involved. The second free throw is no good. A rebound is cleared out by Smith.
Good hustle. Just to our right, Zinn for Oxford and White for Columbus, diving for a loose basketball off of Zinn. and it will be Columbus possession.
We move now inside 5 minutes. Columbus with a 26-15 lead. A little iffy on the scoreboard situation. This time the Lady Falcons go in and a charge is called. Didn't have any much choice on that. She lowered her shoulder.
Yeah, that lowered her shoulder, made it obvious. But they also never reported it to the scorer's table as a foul.
It's a weird situation we're in right now. That looked like a Devin King tackle is what that looked like underneath.
A wise man once said we have lots of confusion out here.
There is confusion in the gym. But we have a table and chairs, so I'm good.
And we're dry.
Yes. And the hospitality room is about 50 feet from us. The inbounds pass is stolen by Columbus. There's Nia Sadler into the front court, and she hits a streaking Deanna Smith, who just cannot get the layup to go. Oxford clears it out. And Lady Chargers again will play it on the offensive end. And this time the ball is knocked loose, but Oxford regains it.
The score is 26-15.
It is. By most people.
Just to clarify.
The shot is up and no good. Rebound. And I think that's Coach Harrison has to be concerned at the number of looks Oxford's getting in the paint.
Yes.
Columbus has been real good at stopping the penetration in the lane this year, and they've not done a good job of it tonight. On the other end, that was Hughes with the layup. And again, the Falcons with full court pressure, but Oxford beats it, gets it into the front court. The shot is no good. Rebound is put up. And again, Oxford is just living in the paint area.
Yeah, Cook, Metcalf, Ducksworth, the post players for Oxford, doing a really good job offensively.
The shot now on the other end is no good. Putback is up and also no good. That was Bree Smith trying to, I believe, get into the scoring column. I don't think Bree scored.
She has not.
And she could not get it to go. Columbus again. Oxford cleared out the rebound, but Columbus steals it away again. And Hannah White on a real nice individual one-on-one move drives to the basket and is fouled.
That'll be a foul called on Metcalf, her first, and just the 5th team foul called on Oxford.
The Falcons, Hannah White will go to the line and will attempt to shoot 2. We have a whistle though first. Yeah, got to get the line. The lane is not lined up correctly.
No.
Free throw on its way by Hannah is off the back iron, no good. She'll get a second opportunity.
Oxford will bring McGee back onto the court and will also bring White in. Columbus will also make a change, and
second free throw is on its way, and Hannah hits that one.
That's Daranya Smith, who's come back into the ball game for Columbus. And Oxford will also send in Everett. First time we've seen Everett, number 14, on the court.
Columbus now with a 29-17 lead. We are now inside 3 minutes to the half. Oxford drives it to the goal, passes it back out. Pass underneath, and again, the Lady Chargers get someone wide open underneath the basket, but the layup is no good. And Columbus clears it out on the other end. The three-point shot is on its way and no good by Sadler. Rebound as a foul. And kind of surprised Columbus had success with the full court pressure in the first quarter and in the regular season. But Oxford's done a much better job of beating that pressure in the second quarter and getting some real nice looks 2, 4, 6 feet away from the basket here in the second quarter.
The passing against the press has been much better for Oxford so far tonight.
Free throw is up by Ashley Epps. It is no good.
We haven't called Epps' name tonight until now.
The second free throw is on its way. It bounces off the back iron. Columbus clears out the rebound. And that was Smith with the rebound. Brianna Smith into the front court. Again, in the lane is Hughes. Passes it back out. Lady Falcons reset the offense, and 3 seconds in the lane is called.
The rare 3 seconds in the lane call.
It has not been a crisp second quarter.
Traveling. Yep, got it. In the backcourt. Oxford turns it over. That's Everett. Just got rushed. And you're right, Scott. No, I think both teams playing with a little extra effort on defense, and the offense is having a hard time responding. Has not been a crisp quarter at all.
The Falcons have taken a timeout. Coach Harrison has called it. It's a 30.
So we'll keep things right here. 29-17. Your thoughts so far on how this thing has gone from a Columbus standpoint?
Certainly, I like how they have posted Hughes up in the lane on a consistent basis. If they could get Columbus is a guard-oriented team. If they could get some production offensively in the postseason, that would be great.
Pun very much intended.
No, I just stumbled into that one actually.
Go ahead and take credit for it.
But again, the full court press has worked very well against South Panola, Tupelo, and Oxford. And I'm very surprised that Oxford's gotten as many good looks here in this quarter. Pass again inside to Hughes. Shots no good. Oxford clears out the rebound.
A good look for Hughes, and she almost nailed that one. That would have been her 10th point of this first half.
And the Lady Chargers on offense. Pass to the right side. Ball is knocked loose. Columbus would still again. Smith again gets it into the front court to Hannah White, who will set the offense up. Pass to Hughes, who goes underneath and hitting the layup. That was a very nice offensive play there. Deanna Smith with the basket, and she'll go to the line to try to convert the three-point play. Where is the Falcon? That's the question.
It's a very good question.
The cheerleaders are here. We need the Falcon here.
The Falcon maybe had some after-school tutoring.
Could be. The free throw is no good. Bird is the word.
Another travel, as again in the half-court trap. Oxford, that's Everett again. She's having a difficult time trying to break it, and she'll be taken out of the ball game. And Oxford will get their starters back out onto the court, trailing now by 20 as we get towards the end of the first half. By 14, rather. The scoreboard threw me off again.
It happens. Columbus
too
now,
often.
Yes, offensively, the ball is knocked loose, and the ball got out of bounds. Oxford will play it. Coach Harrison feels like I do when I pull up to McDonald's and I realize there are 10 cars in line, and it's going to be a wait.
She's just not.
It's going to be a wait. She has not liked anything that's happened in the last half hour.
No, nothing has happened as smoothly as she would have liked it to have happened. Although she has to be pleased that Hughes and Durania Smith have combined for 16 first half points.
Now they've definitely come in with a different game plan, and you've seen that during the win streak that this team has kind of tried to reinvent itself 2 or 3 different ways. Because to win in the postseason, they're going to have more weapons. The offensive foul is called underneath on Oxford. Columbus will play it. And the clock moves inside 1 minute here in the first half of play.
Campbell was the guilty party for Oxford. That's now their 7th team foul, so both teams shooting free throws the rest of the half.
Shot's on its way from about 15 feet away. It's no good. That was Smith. Oxford gets the outlet pass, and going all the way in and scoring it, the uncontested layup, was Campbell. And that makes it a 12-point ball game. Pass underneath is shots no good by Hannah White. Gets the rebound and is fouled and will go to the line and will shoot 2. I would not be a bit surprised. This is the kind of game where usually Coach Harrison at the half tells Hannah to take it over.
Yeah.
And just to create the separation that you would want to have in a postseason game. You would like to go ahead and put this away as soon as you can. And Hannah's first free throw is good. And typically the first 4, 5, 6 minutes of the second half is when she does take over a ball game. Free throw is up this time. It rolls in and out, and it's no good.
Hannah White now with 5 first half points.
32-19, Oxford will play it here now for the final shot of the half. Columbus has backed off the last 3 possessions on the pressure. And the Lady Chargers are not getting a good look at the basket, and they're not even going to get a shot off. Ball's knocked loose and out of bounds with 7/10 of a second left.
It's going to stay with Oxford, but this is going to have to be a tip-in situation with 0.7 on the clock.
So we will see how Oxford elects to play it here to end the half. Columbus is going to make a substitution.
Bree Smith will come on. Daranya Smith goes out.
The inbounds, she loses the handle on it and cannot get a shot off. So we're at the half, and the Columbus Lady Falcons have a 32-19 lead at the break. Let's take a time out here, and we'll come back to analyze the first half for you. Carter, fire us up a ad here.
A halftime break.
Halftime break. Halftime at South Panola, 32-19 Columbus. And this is Columbus Falcon Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
Anthony's Good Food Market of West Point, Mississippi, proud supporter of the Juke on WMSV, features some of the South's finest Cajun and Delta-inspired cuisine like barbecue shrimp, hand-cut blackened ribeyes, and gumbo. Plus, for live music fans, every Wednesday night, it's the Midweek Mojo, featuring musical performances from 7 until 10. Anthony's, established in 1936, is a brown bag establishment, so feel free to bring your own bottle of wine or spirits to enjoy with your meal. Anthony's Good Food Market, located at 116 Main Street in West Point, Mississippi. Reservations are recommended on weekends, 494-0316. Anthony's, now on Facebook and online, anthonysgoodfoodmarket.com.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's hard to fathom. By the year 2050, Earth will be home to 3 billion more people than today. And with rising populations and dwindling resources, one of the most pressing questions is a stark one. How will we feed everyone? At Mississippi State University, we're preparing a meal table where there's a seat for all of us. As one of the nation's leading research universities, our scientists are deploying technology to enhance crop production, developing vaccines to protect aquaculture, working to boost water resources here at home and in communities around the globe. And by partnering with the League of International Universities and the United Nations, we're guaranteeing that global food security is a priority for years to come. As our world grows, so do the challenges. But when it comes to how we will feed everyone, rest assured, Mississippi State has all options on the table.
Oh, hi. Right now, I'm getting a remarkably heartfelt bear hug from Smokey Bear. Thanks, big guy. Now, if you could let me down. See, I made sure there were no low-hanging branches when I set up my campfire. And before we left, I drowned out my campfire, stirred it, drowned it out again, then made sure it was cold. Visit SmokeyBear.com to learn tips to prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Coming up on Art of the Song is folk music icon Dean Gitter. Dean shares stories of his time during the 50s folk music scenes in Boston and New York, and his latest project, Carl Sandburg's American Songbag 2.0, produced and recorded in his new home in northern New Mexico.
This week on Art of the Song.
Join us for Art of the Song, a virtual coffee house for singers and songwriters every Sunday at noon here on WMSV 91.1 FM.
Your Bulldog men's basketball team is back in Stark Vegas on Saturday, February 17th for a key rematch with Ole Miss. Creating the most electric and intimidating atmosphere in the SEC starts with you. The Bulldogs are 16-1 on their home court, so this is a game you don't want to miss. Fewer than 1,000 tickets remain, so get yours today at hailstate.com/tickets, and we'll see you at the Hump.
Well, welcome back to Columbus High School basketball. It's halftime here at South Panola High School, the host site for this year's District 2 6A tournament. The number 1 seed Columbus Lady Falcons on top at halftime over the 4 seed Oxford Lady Chargers, 32-19. A 13-point halftime lead for Coach Hairston and Columbus. Columbus led by 7 points at the end of the first quarter, and they then extend that lead by 6 out to a 13-point halftime advantage. A little closer game than we saw when these two teams played just 1 week ago at Oxford, but still a rather comfortable advantage here at the halftime break for Columbus. Don't forget, we do have the Columbus boys game against South Panola coming up around 5:30. It'll be about a 15 or 20-minute break in between this game and that game. We'll keep things live right here on 91.1 the entire time, so don't go anywhere between ball games. Both the Falcons and Lady Falcons are the 1 seed in the District 2 6A playoffs. If they each win here tonight, they're guaranteed a spot in the North Half playoffs next week. If they win tonight, they'll play for the championship this Friday. If they win tonight and on Friday, then they'll host a game in the second round of the North Half playoffs at home next Friday. If they each win tonight, but then lose on Friday, then they'll host a first round North Half playoff game on Monday in Columbus. It's a bit confusing. The bracket is, as Scott mentioned in the pregame, the MHSAA bracket. Listen, we love the folks at the MHSAA, but the bracket they put together for basketball each year is a rather confusing one, and quite frankly, it involves a few too many teams. But the main thing is win tonight if you're Columbus, and you are guaranteed, regardless of what happens on Friday of this week, a spot in the playoffs hosting next week, either on Monday, Tuesday, or on Friday, Saturday. If you win tonight and on Friday, first round bye, and you're automatically hosting next week on Friday and Saturday in Columbus. So that's the situation facing the Falcons and Lady Falcons. Right now, what the Lady Falcons are concerned with is a halftime lead over Oxford, 32-19. We'll take a look at your first half by the numbers after this second halftime break. Back in a few minutes. This is Columbus Basketball, 91.1 WMSV.
MSU's largest General Honor Society, Gamma Beta Phi, will host a night for St. Jude on Saturday, February 24th at 7:30 p.m. in the Student Union Ballroom. The event is semi-formal and will include a catered dinner, a performance by the Mississippi State Jazz Band, and a silent auction. Tickets are $50 for singles, $90 for couples, and $30 for students with an ID. Proceeds benefit St. Jude Children's Hospital. For more information on the event or to purchase tickets, you can visit www.nightforstjude.com.
Introducing Walmart Neighborhood Market, an easy new way to shop that's close to home. Come inside for a full grocery selection with fresh local produce, choice USDA meats, all at Walmart's everyday low prices. And it's not just groceries. Get free shipping with in-store pickup on over 1 million eligible items from Walmart.com. Walmart Neighborhood Market. Same low prices, fast, fresh, and easy shopping.
Now open at northeast of MSU and Highway 12 in Starkville. For the next Putumayo World Music Hour,
we'll explore the eclectic music of today's Italy, from the lively folk traditions of the countryside to the sophisticated studio-created grooves of the club scene. I'm Dan Storper.
And I'm Rosalie Howarth. Join us for Spotlight on Italy, the next Putumayo World Music Hour.
It's a musical journey around the globe each week with Rosalie Howarth and Dan Storper on the Putumayo World Music Hour, Sundays at 11 a.m., only on WMSV. You're listening to WMSV, Starkville.
It's halftime here on day one, round one of the Region 2 6A playoffs. The Columbus Lady Falcons on top at halftime over Oxford by a score of 32-19. Alongside Scott Walters, I'm Anthony Craven. Here are the first half numbers for you for Oxford. They are at the break, led in scoring by number 24, Zinn, who scored 5 first quarter points and tacked on 2 more in the second. She has 7 total points, 4 points for Cook, 4 points for Metcalf, 2 points for Ducksworth, and 2 points for Campbell. 19 points total for Oxford, led by Zinn. For Columbus, they are led by Hughes and Duranya Smith. Kiara Hughes and Duranya Smith both getting it done in the paint with 8 points each. You also have with 7 points Sadler, with 4 points Harden. Hannah White, who leads the team in scoring on the year, has 5 points. So Harden has 4, Hughes has 4, White has 5, Duranya Smith has 4, Sadler has 7, and the Columbus Falcons have 32 here as we get ready, Scott, for half number 2.
Oxford will play it, and we'll go from right to left here, and we will get this underway. The ball is not loose quickly by Columbus on the inbounds, intercepted, and the Falcons clear it out. Now Sadler with the turnover. Falcons will play it on the offensive end.
How fitting that the first half begins with an Oxford turnover.
And Columbus now travels on their end, and so we are turnover 1 apiece. You get 2 for $1 at McDonald's.
we mentioned it was a bit ragged for the offenses in the second quarter. Third quarter begins much the same.
So Oxford will now play it, though Columbus backed off with the full court press toward the end of the second quarter. They're in it to start this quarter. And the Falcons, this time Oxford drives to the basket, and Columbus is called for a block underneath, in which was not a very good call. And the Chargers will get the benefit of the doubt and get to go to the line to shoot 2.
And that is the third foul of the ball game called on Bree Smith. 3 different Falcons have 3 fouls each. Harden, Bree Smith. Well, Harden and Bree Smith each have 3. Hughes and Sadler have 2.
Second free throw is on its way. It's good. She missed the first. It hit the second. So Oxford splits the 2 free throw attempts. It's now a 32-20 ball game. 7:29 to go here in the third quarter of play. And Columbus will play it on offense. Top of the key is Anaya Sadler. He gives it to Hannah White for a reset. And Falcons, again, we have a hand check called on Oxford. Hannah White was beginning her move to the basket, and White is called for the foul. Her second. Columbus will play it. Now Falcons throw it inbounds, and Columbus again. Oxford is set up in a zone, and the Lady Falcons will attempt to attack it from the outside. They post Hughes underneath, but it's passed up. Instead, White misses the shot. Kiana Smith misses the putback. Oxford will clear it out and go to the front court. The Lady Chargers again against token pressure move it into the front court. Shots on its way from 15 feet. It is up and no good. Drew a lot of iron. Metcalf shots, though, is no good. And the rebound is cleared out by Columbus. And this time the ball is thrown away, and Oxford has it in transition. And getting back, recovering to prevent the layup was Brenia Harden, who knocked the ball loose and over the end line. Oxford will play it. 6:36 to go here in the third quarter of play. Lady Falcons with a 32-20 lead. Here is the inbounds for Oxford. And they again get somebody underneath the basket, but the ball is knocked loose at the last second by Hannah White. Ball goes over the end line again. Oxford will play it. Lady Chargers. This time the ball is knocked loose, and the Lady Falcons will have it. Uncontested layup attempt. Well, it was contested. Hannah White was streaking to the basket. Oxford got back at the last second to prevent the shot from going and took a piece of Hannah with them.
And there was no attempt at the basketball there on that foul.
No, that was just trying to prevent anything from going up.
That's 3 fouls now on Oxford's Kay White.
So Hannah will go to the line and shoot 2. She shakes off the dazed look. She had that look I always had in physics after that play.
When you received your first test score back,
exactly.
or just in general?
Every day in there. Both free throws are good. And Hannah has scored her first 2 points in the second half, her team's first 2 points in the second half. This time Columbus again with the steal on the full court pressure. And this is Kariana Hughes that got it. And Falcons get it into the front court. And Anaya Sadler quickly with the three-point shot. And this is where Columbus is at its best, when they get a turnover and get a three-point basket in transition. And this time again, Oxford trying to speed things up as well, and they can't run at the tempo the Lady Falcons want to run at. And this time Sadler has to steal. It's into the front court, and the shot on its way underneath by Hughes is no good. Oxford clears out the rebound. And this time we have a whistle and a foul. A bump foul called on Anaya Sadler.
Sadler's third foul. So now there are 3 Lady Falcons, each with 3 fouls. Sadler comes out, and Snell will come on. I believe they called that last shot by Sadler a 2-point basket.
Okay, they have. So a 36-20 ball game. This time the ball's not loose, but there's a foul called beforehand.
Third team foul on Columbus, and that is the 4th foul on Harden. Now I'd imagine she has to come out, and she will. Or she will in a minute. Yes, here she goes. Yeah, she'll come out, and Columbus will send on DJ Jackson.
Way too much fouling.
I agree.
And I don't mean Jimmy. The Oxford will play it. This time the ball is knocked loose. And again, Hannah White had to steal, but it's gotten right back by the Lady Chargers.
I think we had 3 turnovers in that 5-second sequence.
We did. That looked like going to Walmart the night before the ice storm, and all the bread and milk were gone, and everybody's just fighting for that last. The Great Value brand products were even being.
That's when you know things have gone real bad.
Being bought that night. Hannah White from about 15 feet out is no good. Oxford with the rebound into the front court. And again, the Lady Falcons, goodness gracious. Hannah's called for a push. It looked like she had knocked that ball loose clean.
4th team foul, 2nd foul on White.
Oxford will play it. The 16-point spread right now. Columbus leading 36-20. We have a whistle and 3 seconds in the lane is called. And a timeout is called by Oxford. And they are going to take a 30-second timeout. 36-20, 5:01 to go in the third quarter of play. And I'm trying to come up with a storyline. There's just been no rhythm to the game.
It's been an odd game. First of all, give Oxford credit. Clearly a game plan that's better than the one they had last week against Columbus. They practiced against the press. They're passing better against the press, but still, when when Oxford's on defense, that's when they're having their issues because Columbus is getting the ball down into the paint with regularity. Hughes has been unable to cash in on a couple of trips in this third quarter. Nice passes down low, but she has to convert. If she can't convert, then this is going to stay a 16, 18-point ball game, and Oxford may have a chance to get back into it if they can force some turnovers.
Okay, this time Columbus gets it into the front court. Oxford did not apply any pressure there that time. Falcons get it easily into the front court. And the pass is underneath to Hughes. Shots on its way and no good.
A little too far out for Hughes.
Yeah.
That free throw line jumper, that's not her shot.
Right. But she makes up for it on the defensive end with a deflected pass. Now Columbus is again overplaying the passing lanes. And that's leading to some easy turnovers here. And the Lady Falcons will pull it back out. It's the first time tonight, I believe, we've seen DJ Jackson in the ball game, number 14, the freshman for Columbus. She's been a spark plug for the team defensively this year. Threw the pass away that time on the offensive end, though, so Oxford will play it. And the Lady Chargers looking to find some offensive momentum, trying to climb back into the contest. They're having a more difficult time getting it into the lane here. 3 seconds in the lane called. That's our third time to call that tonight.
Yeah, well, Oxford's post players, and specifically Ducksworth, who's now coming out of the ball game, they're getting tired of running up and down the court, and so Ducksworth has now just camped out in the lane the last couple of times. Kudos to the officials for having an eyeball on that and calling it.
Yeah.
Fatigue becoming an issue right now for both teams, but especially for Oxford.
And Jabriah Snell also getting some extended minutes here for Columbus. She played in the first half, but certainly in there longer now. She is dribbling the basketball top of the key. Columbus is trying to put together something offensively. Hannah White now has it, drives to the basket, and is cut off. And this will be a blocking foul on Oxford.
Third team foul called on Oxford this half. And they got Epps with a foul, her first.
The Lady Falcons now will play it. Hannah White inside the lane shoots about a 10-footer, and it's good.
That's the first made shot from the field for Hannah White since the first quarter.
And the Lady Falcons have now run the lead to 38-20. Oxford on the other end, the layup does not go. Lady Chargers are a little bit out of control there on that one, even though they had numbers. They had a 2-on-1 break. And now Hannah White is simply keeping possession of the basketball and trying to take this contest over. And this time Oxford has fouled her again. And a ball will be played on the baseline here, sideline. Fourth foul of the half against Oxford.
Foul was on Cook, help side defender.
The pass goes underneath. The shot is no good, but the putback is up and good. And that time that was Brianna Smith that missed from about 15 feet out. And clearing the lane was Kiara Hughes, who's had a real nice ball game for Columbus tonight. And she scored the putback and drew the foul and will go to the line. Her free throw attempt is up and is no good. And the rebound is actually gained by Columbus. And the Lady Falcons will drive it and pass underneath. And an excellent offensive execution in that possession. And Brianna Smith gets the basket to go. And Columbus is now on a 10-0 run. And again, pressure in the backcourt, turnover. And DJ Jackson was in there mixing it up there that time. And Oxford's going to take a full timeout. 2:34 to go, third quarter. Columbus 42, Oxford 20. Timeout. This is Columbus Falcon Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
Heart disease causes over 600,000 deaths in the United States each year. The most common form of heart disease is coronary artery disease, a major cause of heart attack. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, obesity, and lack of exercise increase your risk. Calcium scoring with cardiac CT can identify plaque buildup in the coronary arteries before symptoms appear. Ask your doctor if cardiac screening is right for you. For more information, visit radiologyinfo.org.
Minutes 2 minutes, 34 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. The Columbus Lady Falcons on a 10-0 run, Anthony. And again, that is started on the defensive end.
Took a while for the offense to get going in this third quarter. You're right, Scott, but recently turning defense into offense. A couple of free throws and a bucket from Hannah White. And then Hughes, De'Rania Smith, and Sadler all get in on the scoring action. And boom, just like that, it's a huge 22-point advantage. Defense has only surrendered 1 point to Oxford the entire quarter.
And the Lady Falcons will look to build on the run here. And Snell has it top of the key, throws it underneath. About 10-foot jump shot is on its way from Smith, and it's no good. Lady Falcons again have owned the boards this quarter, and they clear it out and get another rebound. And the putback this time is up by Brianna Smith, and good.
And she now has 12 points to lead all scores.
And the Lady Falcons have just totally taken over this contest here in the third quarter. Oxford, on the other end, they drive to the basket and get a layup to go. That is Zen scoring the first field goal of this quarter for the Lady Chargers with 1:42 to go. And this time on the offensive end, we have a tie-up. Columbus again driving the basketball to the lane, and Oxford ties it up, and the possession error will keep it with the Falcons.
I was going to say, Zen has scored all 3 of Oxford's points here in this third quarter. Leads them in scoring for the ball game with 10. Almost half of their scoring for the entire game. Another whistle away from the basketball.
I did not see what she called.
She called an offensive charge, but
foul goes up on the board on Hughes. Which will be her third. And Columbus again with the full court pressure, and the Lady Chargers are able to beat it. 3-point shot on its way, and it's no good. And the rebound, Oxford got it, but she was standing out of bounds. So Columbus will play at 1:17 to go third quarter.
Both teams have 5 fouls each. Foul trouble, Harden has 4. Hughes has 3. Bree Smith has 3. Sadler has 3. For Columbus, Oxford, you have Kay White with 3. No one else has more than 2.
Lady Falcons this time drive it underneath. The shot by Hannah White is blocked, and it goes out of bounds, and the Columbus will keep possession.
De'Rania Smith and Kiara Hughes both now in double figures. They've combined for 22 points in the paint. And then right on cue, as I was praising De'Rania Smith, she travels with the basketball, making a post move.
This time the Oxford will play at full court press again by Columbus, and they are making it very difficult. We 10 seconds called.
We had one of them call 10 seconds, one called traveling. Either way, Oxford turnover, and you're right, this third quarter especially, they can't do anything against the full court trapping defense of Columbus.
And same thing that they've done though throughout the game. It just had less success in the second quarter for whatever reason.
I think they've done a good job putting more length in the backcourt and not allowing the outlet pass, which is what was hurting them in the first half. And now they got a whistle, a
foul called while Columbus was trying to inbound the ball.
Hannah White whistled for the foul.
Oxford, again, against the full court press, they backcourt, nothing called. They get it now into the front court. Shot is missed, no good. Putback is on its way. It's also no good. 2 shots from point-blank range in the lane, no good for the Lady Chargers. And Columbus will now play it on the other end. And the shot this time by Snell is no good. Rebounds cleared out by Oxford. And the Lady Chargers will bring it down and pass it underneath. And the layup is up and good, this time by Metcalf. And she is now into the second half scoring column. And that will run the quarter out. At the end of 3, Columbus leads Oxford by a score of 44-24. And we'll have the fourth quarter for you after this timeout. Columbus Falcon Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
The programming heard on WMSV 91.1 FM is brought to you in part through support from the Columbus Municipal School District. For information on the Columbus schools or for events happening at the schools, visit columbuscityschools.org. One team, one Columbus.
All righty, as we head to the fourth quarter of play, the Columbus Lady Falcons leading Oxford by a score of 44-24. And that third quarter was kind of more what we were expecting to see from Columbus tonight.
Yeah, it took a little while for Oxford to get worn down, but eventually what we thought would happen happened. They got worn down. The pressure defense from Columbus is going to get to you at some point. And it got to Oxford in a big way in that third quarter. Oxford only scores 5 points, only makes 2 buckets the entire third quarter. And here we go into the final 8 minutes. It's all Columbus right now on top by 20.
All righty, so Oxford will go on offense first to start the fourth quarter. The Lady Chargers will play it in. Again, the winner tonight qualifies for the playoffs. Both teams, though, will play again Friday night. Travel called by Oxford. Columbus will get it on offense. Third place game is at 4 o'clock Friday, and the championship game is at 7 o'clock Friday. But so either way, both teams will play again Friday night. However, the top 3 teams in the 4-team region make the playoffs, so Columbus can clinch a playoff berth by holding on to this lead, the final 7:45. Lady Falcons now will play it on offense. Sadler passes it to the side to Bree Smith, who gives it to Hannah White. Back to Bree Smith. And the Lady Falcons may be content to slow things down a little bit this quarter. This time the pass is too high and intercepted by Oxford.
Yeah, good job by Ducksworth to clog that passing lane and pick off that pass.
So the Lady Chargers needing to move things a little more quickly here with the deficit here in the fourth quarter. Columbus ties up the basketball, no call though. And Oxford, this time they're going to throw the ball away. Actually, it's not. It's
now it is.
Now it is. I thought we were going to have the steal by White, but instead Sadler is the one that stole it. The shot is no good by Columbus on the offensive end, and it looked like Sadler was contacted at the basket, missed the goal. Oxford goes the other way with it, totally out of control, and missing the layup was White.
And now we have timeout called by Columbus. Coach Harrison wants to talk things over.
It's a full. So let's take a timeout with them. 6:34 to go in the ball game, and Columbus holds a 44-24 lead over Oxford here at the region tournament at South Panola. This is Columbus Falcon Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
All righty, 6 minutes, 34 seconds to go in the ball game. Columbus held a 13-point lead at halftime in this contest, and then they were able to really stretch it in the third quarter with a 12-0 run, and that's why we stand where we stand right now. Columbus holding a 20-point lead with 6.5 minutes to play. This time the shot is on the way for the Lady Falcons, and fouled is Benaiah Harden, and she'll go to the line. I think she was on the line, so she'll get 2 free throw opportunities. That is correct.
That is the third foul on Campbell, number 5 for Oxford. 17 fouls total now for the Lady Chargers as Harden misses the free throw.
She'll get a second opportunity on the two-shot foul.
Bit of a quiet night offensively for Harden, only 4 points tonight so far.
Second free throw is on its way. It rolls in and out. And Oxford mishandles the rebound, so Columbus will get it. Have another chance to try to score here.
Extra opportunity.
This time the ball is thrown inbounds to Hannah White. Drives to the goal. Passes it off at the last second to Smith, who was not ready for it.
No.
And it bounced off an Oxford player, so Columbus will keep it.
A little too hard of a pass, too.
It was. The Lady Falcons this time throw the ball away, the pass into the backcourt. It was glanced off of Hannah White, and by the time she went back into the backcourt to get it, it was going to be the turnover. So Oxford now drives it. The shot in the lane is no good. Rebound cleared out by the Falcons. Bree Smith that time on the board. Columbus will run the offense now with 6 minutes to go in the ball game. And the pass goes underneath. Very nicely done. The basket is scored by Bree Smith off the assist from Brianna Smith. And the Lady Falcon lead now is back to 22.
The first made shot tonight for Bree Smith.
Oxford now will score, or will attempt to score rather, and the layup attempt goes off the back iron. And Columbus will clear it out. The Lady Falcons are now going to be more content to run the clock some on some of these possessions. The shot is on its way from about 15 feet out. It's no good. Rebound is up and good. That was Bree Smith again.
That's right, back-to-back buckets.
On Lady Falcons again applying a little bit of pressure. The Lady Chargers are able to beat it. And the ball is into the front court. This time the pass to the side. Shot is on its way and good. Nice move in the lane by Ashley Elps, who took the pass on the left flats and then just simply drove to the basket, hit the layup.
So Epps now into the scoring column, her first made shot. The outcome, though, is already in hand. Nice, just gradual, controlled, dominating game tonight for Columbus as Dorania Smith again turns around and hits a jumper in the lane for 2 more points.
The Falcons now with a 50-26 lead, and this time the pressure gets to Oxford and they get the turnover in the backcourt.
Dorania Smith comes off. No, she does not. She stays on. Hughes comes in, and so Columbus now with their really tall lineup on the court.
Yeah, Columbus working the offense. The ball is thrown underneath. We have a holding foul called in the lane, and the Falcons will get a chance here to shoot a 1-and-1. That was Duriana Smith.
And they got Metcalf with a foul, her second.
Free throw is up and good.
That's 15 points now for Smith.
Second free throw is on its way and also good. Drew a little bit of iron but fell through.
This might be the best offensive game of the year for Dorania Smith.
This time the foul is called on Columbus as Oxford was trying to break a player underneath the basket. And the Lady Chargers will get to go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1 as well.
Foul call on Sadler, her fourth.
Kyla Johnson's free throw is on its way and no good.
Now they're going to get Hughes with a foul as she went up trying to defend McGee.
Because clearly we need some more fouls in this game.
That's what I was hoping for. That's 4 fouls on Hughes. 3 different Lady Falcons have 4 fouls each.
Samaya McGee to the free throw line. First free throw is up and good.
First point tonight for McGee, a starter for the Oxford team tonight. Got a lane violation. I think Snell for Columbus stepped in early.
So she'll have another opportunity here at the second free throw. The Lady Chargers are going to make a substitution. And Brianna Ducksworth goes back into the game. The second free throw is up and no good. This time the Lady Chargers clear the rebound. Duckworth got that board. And so they'll reset the offense. This time driving to the lane. And shooting and missing is Soraya Campbell. And Columbus clears it out. That was the 10th rebound by Deanna Smith, so she'll have a double-double in this game.
What a nice night, or afternoon rather, for Duranya Smith. Her teammate Hughes, who's also had a nice night in the paint, will head to the free throw line. She was fouled on a putback attempt.
Free throw is up and good. Hannah White has 9 points and 10 rebounds, so she's on that double-double flirtation line.
A bit of an unorthodox night for Hannah White. Most of her offensive points coming at the free throw line.
Second free throw is up and no good. The Lady Falcons with the steal this time. Another nice defensive play by Jabria Snell. Gets it into the front court. The three-point shot is on its way and good by Hannah White. So double-double there achieved for her as well. And that makes it a 56-27 ball game.
If Hannah White's hitting those kinds of shots, then good luck trying to play defense one-on-one against her.
The shot's on its way and no good by Oxford.
And a traveling in the backcourt. Harden picked up her dribble to try to pass to someone, and no one was there. Her entire team had left her and had run up court, and so she had to alter her pattern and simply traveled.
Shot this time is missed by Oxford, but they get the rebound, and driving to the basket and hitting the layup is Sanaya Campbell. That makes it a 56-29 game with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left.
So when it's all said and done, this one's going to end up, Scott, with a final score very similar to the one we had last week when these two played in Oxford.
Well, this time Hannah White drives to the basket. She's cut off, and the foul is called.
Tenth team foul on Oxford, second foul on Cook.
Free throw by Hannah is up and good.
White now with 4 points in this fourth quarter. Harden will come off the court for Columbus. DJ Jackson comes on.
Second free throw is up, and it's also good. Hannah hits both of those. And the Columbus lead now has been run back out to 29, 58-29, as the clock moves inside 2 minutes. Lady Chargers with some new faces into the ball game now. Passes the underneath, and the layup is up and good by Duckworth.
Now the ball thrown away in the backcourt by Columbus. They turn it over. Oxford has possession. 98 seconds left in this one. It looks as if the Falcons are well on their way, Scott, to a berth in the playoffs beginning next week.
Indeed, certainly an opportunity to host to start the playoffs. If they are to win Friday night, they would get a first-round bye and would host in the second round. If they lose Friday night, they'll still host, but it will be hosting in the first round Monday night.
And Region 2 is paired up with Region 1, correct, in the playoffs for next week.
Foul is called on Columbus. Oxford will go to the line and shoot free throws. The free throw is up and it's no good by Campbell. Should get another opportunity.
That foul, by the way, called on Tate, who just entered the game a few moments ago.
Second free throw is also no good. Columbus with the rebound. Yeah, Lady Falcons will play it into the front court. DJ Jackson gives off to Hannah White, who drives to the goal and is fouled again.
So 2 more free throws coming up for Hannah White. No, they're going to say not in the act of shooting.
Wow.
Actually, no, they said no foul.
I was going to say, how was that not a foul?
Wow.
Okay.
They've called a lot of fouls tonight.
They have.
And that could have been yet another one.
All righty, Oxford will play it. 1 minute to go in the ball game. The Lady Chargers now trying to get it into the lane. Ball is knocked loose by Hannah White. And she's going to go coast to coast for the layup. Shot is good, and it's now a 60-31 ball game. Oxford on the other end. They'll pass it. And taking the shot and then driving to the lane and then pulling it back out. Resetting the offense. Lady Chargers. And this time the ball is whistle. The play is stopped due to a foul.
There we go. We have whistles, we have fouls, both teams in the double bonus. That foul is called on Tate, her second, since coming on into the ball game a few minutes ago.
The free throw is on its way and no good. She'll get a second opportunity.
We'll find out later on tonight, Scott, who the Falcons play, the Lady Falcons play on Friday in the championship game.
Yeah, the Tupelo South Panola contest should be real good. They played 2 very entertaining regular season games with one another. Columbus gets the ball into the front court, driving all the way to the basket and hitting the layup is Hannah White.
Hannah White has now scored 8 fourth-quarter points, flirting with becoming Lady Falcons' leading scorer for the game.
Free throw is on its way and good. The three-point play is achieved. It is a 63-31 ball game with 13 seconds left. And the Lady Chargers will get one more shot at it. And it will be not taken in time. So that will do it. The Lady Falcons are a winner. Columbus defeats Oxford by a score of 63-31. And the Lady Falcons will clinch a berth next week in the Class 6A playoffs. And they'll also play 7 o'clock Friday night in the championship game here of the region tournament.
Against the winner of the Tupelo South Panola contest. What we expected was a convincing win for Columbus, Scott, and that's what we got. Congrats to Coach Harrison and our squad. An opportunity guaranteed, regardless of what happens on Friday, guaranteed of at least one playoff game in Columbus next week as Lady Falcons advance to the playoffs, take the record on the year to 18-5 overall. And now they get ready for the Columbus boys to take on South Panola in their Region 2 6A first round district playoff game. Once again, final score is 63-31. Scott and I come back after this post-game, or after this between-game break, and we'll take a look at the girls' game by the numbers, final stats, and get you ready for the boys' matchup. Once again, Columbus Lady Falcons victorious in convincing fashion, 63-31 over Oxford as they clinch a spot in the state playoffs to begin next week in Columbus. Back after a between-game break, this is Columbus Basketball, 91.1 WMSV.
Chronic, non-healing wounds keep millions of people just like you from doing things they love to do. However, the Wound Healing and Hyperbaric Center at OCH Regional Medical Center can help. Our comprehensive approach includes hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which is ideal for wounds that are so deep, so extensive, have so much injury, or are compromised by infection or other conditions. This advanced therapy provides outstanding results. OCH Wound Healing and Hyperbaric Center. The healing starts here.
When Dad needed help getting around, I became his driver. Soon enough, it was up to me to be his housekeeper and financial manager, too. When he moved in, I became his cook and even his nurse. But no matter what roles I play, I know I'm still his daughter.
We understand the roles you play. So to help, we created aarp.org/caregiving, where you can connect with experts and other caregivers. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you ready to gain a global perspective in the agribusiness industry? The new online Master of Agribusiness Management at Mississippi State University, a university internationally recognized as a leader in agribusiness, can get you started. Their accredited online program provides high-quality instruction that grooms students for advanced careers in farm production, food manufacturing and distribution, product marketing, retail, forestry, and agricultural lending, all on a schedule that works for you. To learn more about this and all of their online programs, you can visit distance.msstate.edu. Hail State!
I'm Anthony Craven, your host for Music Makers Presents, a 30-minute show that airs every weekend right here on WMSV, featuring local artists and bands performing their own original music live. They also will sit down every episode with me for a conversation on music and life. It airs every weekend, 9 p.m. on Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. on Sundays here on WMSV. And welcome back to Columbus High School basketball. We're getting ready for the Columbus boys game as they'll take on the host team in this Region 2 6A playoff, the Tigers of South Panola. We just wrapped up the Columbus Lady Falcons matchup. They clinch a spot in the North 6A state playoffs next week. We know for a fact that they will host at least one game next week because of their victory today over Oxford, 63-31. Let's take a look at the final numbers for the game. For Oxford, they finished with 31 points, led in scoring by Zinn. Number 24, Zinn, scored a total of 10 points. She scored 5 in the first quarter, 2 more in the second, 3 in the third, was held scoreless in the fourth. Other scores for the Lady Chargers include Epps with 2, Campbell with 4, McGee only had 1 shot, a free throw, in the fourth quarter late. Cook had 4 points, Metcalf had 6, Ducksworth had 4, so a very good defensive effort for Columbus as they keep Oxford to only 31 points and only 1 double-digit score. That was Zinn, who had 10. And I thought Columbus did a good job on her in that second half after Zinn had 7 points in the first half. For Columbus, they were led in scoring by, guess who? Hannah White, who ends up scoring 21 points. She scored a bunch of those points. In fact, scored 12 fourth quarter points. 12 points in the fourth quarter for Hannah White as she ends up scoring 21 of Columbus's 63 points, so a third of the Lady Falcons scoring coming from their leading scorer, number 24, Hannah White. Also in double figures, 14 points from Duranya Smith, 11 points from Kiara Hughes. So White, Smith, and Hughes all in double figures for the Lady Falcons. In the rebounding column, Hannah White leads the way with 12. Duranya Smith also with 10, so double-doubles each for Hannah White and Dorania Smith. Other scores for Columbus: 4 for Harden, 4 for Bree Smith, and 9 for Sadler, as Columbus goes on to win by 32 points over Oxford. Final score 63-31. We'll come back after another between-game break, and we'll begin to set the table for you, set the stage for you for Columbus versus South Panola boys action, as the Falcons will try to do what the Lady Falcons just did, and that's clinch a spot in next week's North Half playoffs. More to come after this between-game break. This is Columbus Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
MoneyMate is a prepaid spending account which provides a safe and convenient method of payment for food, books, supplies, and many other goods and services both on and off campus. Unlike a checking account or credit card, there is no extra service charge, and your account cannot be overdrawn. The key to your MoneyMate funds is your MSU ID card, issued by the Campus Card Office located at 108 Allen Hall.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Imagine a technology that could change the world. So precise that it boosts crop production without harming the environment. Spots disaster victims before rescue begins. And detects oil and gas pipeline leaks before problems arise. Imagine the future of aerospace. We are at Mississippi State University, where we ring true.
The best of our knowledge, part of WMSV's Sunday Morning of Ideas, 7 to 9:30 a.m. each and every Sunday morning, right here on 91.1 and online at wmsv.msstate.edu.
Alrighty, there we go. We are getting set for the boys' game here in the region tournament between Columbus and South Panola. The Falcons looking for their third straight victory in the season series with the Tigers. This again is a 1 versus 4 matchup. So the Columbus Falcons are trying to build on a 21-6 overall record, a 6-0 mark in the region, and certainly a South Panola team that they were able to beat by a wide margin in both regular season meetings, including the one here just a couple of weeks ago. Certainly we'd like to see Columbus come out tonight and set the tempo early and try to look for some offensive consistency, get a few players into the lineup going at the same time. And then, as always, with Coach Anthony Carlisle, he is looking for the single-digit scoring. He likes defensively to hold the opposing team to single digits in 2 out of 4 quarters. I had not seen the Aaron Johnson pregame celebration there until now. I'm not sure how I have missed that through 27 games.
I missed it.
It was interesting.
you gotta break it down for me.
It was detailed and lengthy. So getting set for the boys' game, the Columbus Falcons already into the championship game on the girls' side. And certainly the Falcons and Lady Falcons were combined 11-1 in region play during the regular season. The boys, it's kind of a unique situation in that Tupelo, Oxford, and South Panola traditionally have pretty good basketball teams. Tupelo is, of course, one of the Class 6A powers in the state. But Columbus has caught this region at a time where the other three teams are young. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're young.
Very young. No, there's no question about that. It's been an odd year because of that dynamic, and Columbus, to their credit, has taken full advantage. And now the question is, once you get past this, what can you do starting next week when you begin playing teams from DeSoto County and then teams from the South Half and the Jackson area? What happens at that point? We tee it up, and Columbus will have ball possession. Smith at the point guard spot, drives in to Woodard, back to Smith, out to Deloach, and he travels. Deloach got the feet moving before the ball was put on the court, and that'll be a travel. So a turnover on the opening possession. South Panola now has it. No score yet. We are just underway. South Panola had a very difficult time scoring their last time against Columbus, and on their opening possession, they get the ball down low, but a turnover. And I'll be honest, I was blocked out. I didn't see what the call was. Columbus now has ball possession. Deloach over to Smith, over to Harris. Harris changes direction, drives the lane, he travels, and that's an easy call. Harris, I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but he got inside. Picked up his dribble and just took about 3.5 steps, and back-to-back travels called against Columbus. South Panola will have ball possession. Still no score. A minute in. 3 attempts on the way. Air ball. The Tigers missed everything. The outlet to Deloach. Deloach pulls up. Mid-range jumper. He misses everything. Herky-jerky start to this one. Neither team offensively doing much. Harris defensively steals the pass. He'll drive into the paint. Leaves it for Woodard, who dribbles it off his foot out of bounds. And this will be... They're going to say it'll stay with Columbus. The Falcons caught a break right there. I thought Woodard had that ball knocked off his foot. A minute and a half in, no score. Woodard, mid-range jumper off the inbounds pass, too hard. And South Panola grabs the rebound. We're about to go 2 minutes in now, still looking for our first points of the game. 3 on the way, near side, no good, off the back iron. Woodard skies up there, grabs the rebound for the Falcons. He'll take it to the three-point line, then back it out and give to Smith for the reset. Smith just inside the arc to Woodard. Woodard back out to Smith. Man defense for South Panola. Whistle away from the ball. 3 seconds in the lane. I guess called against Denijay Harris, because Robert Woodard had not yet gotten down to the lane. Still no score, and Deloach will come out of the game for Columbus, and Greg King will come in. So King is now on the court, along with Smith, Woodard, Harris, and Aaron Johnson. Now 2.5 minutes in, first quarter, no score. South Panola taking their time on this possession. They go left side with a pass. Now back to the top of the key. Thomas at the point guard spot. Goes right side to Carlton. Carlton back to Thomas. Nice defense for Columbus. Playing a matchup 3-2 zone. Woodard and Harris on the inside. Johnson, King, and Smith on the outside. Thomas drives in, cut off, hands to Carlton. Carlton goes baseline, shot is blocked. Rebound, put back, no good. And Woodard grabs the rebound for Columbus. He wants to run. He goes into the paint, puts up a floater too hard, and the rebound grab by Thomas for South Panola. Outlet to Carlton. 3 in transition, too long. Woodard grabs a defensive rebound. Still no score, 3.5 minutes in. Woodard leaves it for Johnson. 3, no good. Defensive rebound grab by the Tigers, and Carlton will walk it up the court. He looks over at Coach Howard and gets instructions. Carlton, Porter, Thomas, Jackson, and Cathy, your starting 5 for South Panola. The Falcons started with Deloach, Smith, Harris, Woodard, and Aaron Johnson. That's the starting 5 for Coach Anthony Carlisle, dressed out in the full suit here for this district playoff game. Still no score, and we are now 4.5 minutes in. Over halfway through the first quarter. 3 on the way from the near side baseline, and it's too long, and it will bounce off the top of the backboard, out of bounds, turnover, and the ball will go over to Columbus. As Scott mentioned in the pregame, Columbus won both season matchups handily, at home by 18 and here on the road by 33. Aaron Johnson bluffs from 3. Now goes around the horn to Harris. Harris takes the 3, no good. Offensive rebound, Woodard, he goes up. Shot is blocked, out of bounds, and the ball will stay on this end with Columbus. Nice shot block by Cathy as Woodard tried to go back up strong with the offensive putback. Columbus inbounds into the backcourt. Smith, the point guard, gets it across the timeline. Inside the arc to Woodard. Woodard being guarded by Cathy, gives to King. King right back to Woodard. Woodard hands to Smith for a reset. Smith dribbles to his left, leaves for King. 3 on the way, good. First points of the game. Greg King, the reserve, hits his first shot attempt, a 3 from the left wing. And Columbus is now on top, 3-0. South Panola tries to answer. Thomas, 3 from the top of the key, no good. Woodard grabs the rebound. He wants to run. King, 3 in transition, rims out, no good. Aaron Johnson grabs the rebound. He's being pushed. Got a foul, first foul of the night. And it will go against South Panola. And it will be a foul on Carlton. Columbus inbounds, 3 on the way for the baseline. King, no good. Johnson again, offensive rebound. Goes up strong, no basket, offensive foul. They're going to say Johnson went over the back to grab the rebound, I believe. Or do they call 3 seconds? No foul was put up on the scoreboard. So it must have been a lane violation, 3 seconds. Columbus on top, 3-0. They steal the pass. The outlet to King, to Smith. Mid-range jumper's good. Just inside the arc. Smith from the left wing hits his first shot. And the Falcons are on top, 5-0. Half-court trap. South Panola breaks it. Thomas goes to the rim. He gets fouled as he goes up for the layup. First foul called on Columbus, and it will go against Aaron Johnson. And there will be 2 free throws coming up for Thomas, as the Tigers try to get on the board first, or get on the board for the first time. Sub as Deloach comes on for Columbus, and Johnson will leave. So Aaron Johnson leaves. No points yet, 1 foul. RJ Deloach comes on. The free throw from Thomas. Rims around, no good. He missed both. So Thomas missed both free throws. Columbus has ball possession. Smith to King. King to Woodard. Inside the arc, jumper too hard, and Carlton grabs the rebound for South Panola. He'll take it himself, pulls up at the free throw line, and sinks the jumper. Nice job by Carlton, his first points, and the Tigers' first points tonight. Columbus on top, 5-2. Smith drives in, hands off to Deloach. He gives to King. Mid-range jumper is too short, may have been blocked. Saved in bounds, though, by Harris. Falcons maintain possession. Harris has it. Baseline out to King. Now to Smith for a reset. Under a minute to go. First quarter. 5-2. Columbus on top. Harris over to King. King back to Harris. Inside. Now out to Smith. 3 on the way is good. Smith hits a 3 against the zone defense. And he has 5 first quarter points. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Mid-range jumper from Cathy. Too hard for Panola. Columbus. Defensive rebound. Outlet to Smith. Smith over to Deloach. His 3 on the way, no good. Loose ball picked up by South Panola. 15 seconds left, first quarter, 8-2. Falcons on top. Inside, Panola misses the shot but draws the foul from behind. 2 free throws coming up for Carlton, who has the only 2 points tonight for the Tigers. Second foul called against Columbus. Greg King whistled for his first personal foul. Free throw up and good. Carlton with 3 points. Columbus on top 8-3. 11.3 seconds left in this first quarter. Free throw up and Carlton makes both. And he has now scored all 4 of the Tigers' points. Smith walks it up. 10 seconds. Clock is running. He'll drive inside the arc. Lead for Woodard. Woodard drives inside. He'll kick it out. 3 on the way. No good. Woodard, though, slams it in at the buzzer. Offensive putback. Woodard slams it through. And at the buzzer, Woodard scores his first 2 points of the night. And the Falcons are on top by a score of 10-4. 10-4 our score at the end of 1. Columbus on top. Back in 30 seconds. This is Columbus Basketball on 91.1 WMSV.
Anthony's Good Food Market of West Point, Mississippi, proud supporter of the Juke on WMSV, features some of the South's finest Cajun and Delta-inspired cuisine like barbecue shrimp, hand-cut blackened ribeyes, and gumbo. Plus, for live music fans, every Wednesday night, it's the Midweek Mojo, featuring musical performances from 7 until 10. Anthony's, established in 1936, is a brown bag establishment, so feel free to bring your own bottle of wine or spirits to enjoy with your meal. Anthony's Good Food Market, located at 116 Main Street in West Point, Mississippi. Reservations are recommended on weekends, 494-0316. Anthony's, now on Facebook and online, anthonysgoodfoodmarket.com.
Our score after 1 quarter of play, Columbus 10 and South Panola 4. Alongside Scott Walters, I'm Anthony Craven. Quarter number 2 set to begin. The Falcons have ball possession to begin the quarter. Inbound to Harris. Harris to Smith. Mid-range jumper too short. Offensive rebound grab, put back up and in by Denai J. Harris. And the Falcons are on top by 8, 12-4. The first points tonight for Harris. South Panola against a Columbus trapping defense this trip down the court. Pass back and forth around the horn. Carlton to Thomas. Now down low. Back out to Carlton. Carlton, deep 3. No good off the back iron. Rebound goes out to Smith for Columbus. He goes cross court to Woodard. Woodard drives in. Kicks out to King. Now back to Smith for a reset. 1 minute in, quarter number 2. And an 8-point lead for Columbus. Now the ball's loose. Stolen by South Panola. And they are trying to call for a timeout. Did they get it? Yes, they did. South Panola stole the basketball. Called timeout. We'll keep things right here. And Scott,
I don't know if anyone ever called the timeout.
That was an odd sequence for what's been so far an odd game.
Yeah, but when we started the second quarter here, my close friend Casey Smith came over and gave me a nod and a wink. And I think he was apologizing for the first quarter. So,
That's right.
So we're all good here.
No apologies necessary for the defense.
Right.
The offensive effort,
and again,
a bit lackluster.
The process, Anthony Carlisle likes 2 quarters per game where the team's held to single digits, and I certainly had that had that kind of start here with 4 points allowed in the first quarter of play. And, of course, Woodard got going there at the end of the quarter. 7 rebounds in that first quarter for Robert, including the putback there at the end of the quarter. And, again, the Falcons with some heavy pressure, and they get the steal. R.J. Deloach.
Woodard goes behind the back to Johnson, who misses the shot, but Harris is there with a putback. And Harris has now scored 4 straight points in this quarter. And the Falcons on top by 10, 14-4. South Panola almost throws it away. Thomas goes baseline, floater in the lane, no good. Rebound, though, goes out to Thomas. He puts up a shot that misses everything. Another offensive rebound, 3 on the way from Porter. And finally, Columbus grabs a defensive rebound after the Tigers missed 3 shots. Woodard straight to the hoop, no good, but Cathy will foul him on his way up. Second foul as a team on South Panola. And the first on Cathy. And that'll send Woodard to the line. First free throw up and good. Sub for Columbus, as Tyron Johnson replaces Denijay Harris. Second free throw, no good. Woodard makes 1 of 2. Lead is now 15-4 for Columbus. And here comes that defensive pressure now for the Falcons in this quarter.
Yeah, they're fixing to make life real difficult for South Panola. And the thing with the pressure for Columbus is the length. They have such good height and then wingspans.
3 on the way from the elbow, no good, misses everything. Woodard grabs the rebound. He goes coast to coast. We'll leave it for Tyron Johnson. His baseline layup, though, is no good, and South Panola grabs the rebound. The Tigers want to run. Carlton into a triple team whistle, and there will be a charge called on South Panola. A player control foul on Carlton, his second. Sub for South Panola, as number 11 Ford comes on to replace number 10 Porter. Falcons on top by 11. 5 to go first half. Tyron Johnson, top of the key. Goes left side to Aaron Johnson. He drives the lane, goes up left-handed and gets the shot to drop. Nice, strong move by Aaron Johnson. His first bucket tonight.
I was going to say a player that Anthony has loved the offensive progression of here in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Whistle away from the basketball. And there's going to be a foul now on Aaron Johnson. He got a little handsy there on the defense. He'll get a breather. And so will Casey Smith. Greg Keene comes onto the court. And Denijay Harris back on for Columbus. 3 team fouls now for Columbus. And 2 on Aaron Johnson. So he'll sit probably the remainder of the first half. South Panola down by 13 with ball possession. 3 on the way, blocked by Woodard. Grabbed by Cathy, though. South Panola, for the moment, retains possession. Carlton drives the lane, kicks out. 3 on the way, Ford. He'll miss everything. Long rebound, grabbed by Greg King. Here come the Falcons. Outlets to R.J. Deloach. And now out to King for a reset. King will run the point with Smith on the bench. Woodard looks over at Coach Carlisle and gets the set. He wants to run. Under 4 to go first half. Falcons on top by double figures. Harris outside the arc. Looking for Woodard down low. He has it. Double team. Goes up. Fadeaway jumper too short. Offensive rebound, though, grabbed by Tyron Johnson. He goes up, no good. But then Woodard Offensive putback. Third time's a charm, and Woodard gets the bucket to go, and the Falcons now on top by 15. Robert Woodard now with 5 points. South Panola turns it over. Columbus now back on their offensive end. Just over 3 to go first half. Denijay Harris kicks out, and Greg King travels. Yeah, King, the mind was going faster that time than the body. Turnover, South Panola has it.
The Starkville girls tonight over Madison Central 47-23 in the opening round of the 3-6A tournament, which is being played in Murrah. And the Starkville boys are ahead at the half, I think ahead by about 15. So their tournament moving a little quicker than ours.
A little bit. Cathy in the corner, South Panola gets trapped, turns it over. Harris has it. He's running 1-on-3. He's being held as he drives to the basket. And that'll be a foul on Thomas, I believe. The 4th foul on South Panola. They're going to say it's on Carlton. I'm not sure that's correct. Well, I'll go with what they say. I don't agree with that, but that's, for the moment, they're going to say that's Carlton's 3rd foul. Columbus ends up on the inbounds pass, turning it over. So South Panola now back with ball possession, trailing 19-4. They get it across half court, break the pressure, then take a fadeaway jumper from Jackson, and it's off the iron, no good. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds it goes. Whistle, and a foul called on the Tigers. And that'll be the 5th team foul on South Panola. And that'll be a foul called on number 23, Brooks. 5 fouls for the Tigers, 3 for the Falcons, 2.5 to go first half. Falcons on top by 15 points. Smothering defense for Columbus so far in this game. Now on offense, Smith out beyond the arc, being held by Carlton. And that's Carlton's 4th personal foul in the first half. Not ideal for South Panola. The team's 6th. And Carlton will stay out there. Or did he come off? He did come off, okay. Smith, a 3, got it. That's what the knob was about.
Exactly.
Second 3 for Smith in the ball game. He now has 8 points in the first half. Falcons on top by 18. The Tigers being trapped baseline. Cathy gets it out of there. And now Thomas with a reset. He'll drive into the paint, goes up, no good. Offensive rebound and put back, also no good. Loose ball grabbed by Columbus. The outlet to Harris. Harris drives baseline. Reverse layup, no good. Offensive putback, no good. Second try from Tyron Johnson is good. And Tyron Johnson, couple of rebounds and a putback. And he has his first points tonight. And it's all Columbus, 24-4. A minute and a half to go in the first half. South Panola unable to finish at the rim. Right now, Scott, they just have so much trouble with the length of Columbus. Smith on offense. To Harris. Harris being guarded closely. No foul called. Now back out to Smith. He travels. Well, the one bugaboo for Columbus here in the first half, they have committed, I think, 4 or 5 now traveling violations. Tyron Johnson comes off the court. And R.J. Deloach comes back on. Also, McCrary onto the court now for the first time tonight. Under a minute to go first half, 24-4. The Falcons have seized all momentum here in this second quarter. South Panola goes around the horn, exchanging passes. trapping zone defense for Columbus the entire quarter has really been effective. Brooks to Thomas. Thomas to Kathy. Left side to Ford. Back to Thomas around the horn. Thomas now a three, too long. Fight for the rebound. Grabbed offensively by South Panola. Lost out of bounds, and it will stay with the Tigers. Punched out by Casey Smith. Greg King will come on, and McCrary will leave the game. So McCrary, a very short run for the Falcons. 10 on the shot, 10 on the game clock. The Tigers hold for the final shot. Brooks to Ford. Ford to Thomas. Three on the way, and it's good. A deep three. And the first three to fall for South Panola at the buzzer of the first half. That's the good news for the Tigers. Bad news is they're down by 17. 24-7. And Scott, a dominant second quarter for Columbus.
Indeed. They set the tone, as they always do, on the defensive end, and really controlled things from the get-go, and created some easy opportunities on the offensive end.
Your halftime score, Columbus 24, South Panola 7. We'll come back after a halftime break. Falcons on top by 17. This is Columbus Basketball, 91.1 WMSV.
In today's information age, speed and technology drive innovation and economic advantage. At Mississippi State University, our Cray supercomputer is among the fastest academic systems in the world. How fast? Wrap your mind around 593 trillion calculations per second. What can we do with a system like this? What can't we do? When NASA had safety concerns with John Glenn's shuttle mission, they turned to us. When the Navy needed a better submarine, we helped design it. We built a better, safer engine cradle for the Corvette, assisted Homeland Security with cyber strategies, and predicted severe weather patterns for NOAA. We're changing the game for supercomputing while helping protect and shape tomorrow, opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Your Bulldog men's basketball team is back in Stark Vegas on Saturday, February 17th for a key rematch with Ole Miss. Creating the most electric and intimidating atmosphere in the SEC starts with you. The Bulldogs are 16-1 on their home court, so this is a game you don't want to miss. Fewer than 1,000 tickets remain, so get yours today at hailstate.com/tickets, and we'll see you at the hump.
On this week's 51%, we meet a transgender woman who fought the health system.
I understand the shock. I can't say that the reactions that I got were unexpected. I mean, it's what I had feared all my life.
And hear from a storyteller about building on the body positivity movement. I'm Allison Dunn, and it's coming up this week on 51%.
%51 kicks off our Sunday morning of ideas every Sunday morning, 7 to 9:30 a.m. here on 91.1 WMSV.
Introducing Walmart Neighborhood Market, an easy new way to shop that's close to home. Come inside for a full grocery selection with fresh local produce, choice USDA meats, all at Walmart's everyday low prices. And it's not just groceries. Get free shipping with in-store pickup on over 1 million eligible items from Walmart.com. Walmart Neighborhood Market. Same low prices, fast, fresh, and easy shopping.
Now open at northeast of MSU and Highway 12 in Starkville.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had
hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's halftime here in Batesville, Mississippi, campus of South Panola High School. Your halftime score in this Region 2 6A first round playoff game is Columbus 24 and South Panola 17, or 7 rather, a 17-point lead. They make it 17 by the end of the game.
Yeah,
maybe.
I was going to say, no, not quite there yet.
It's a 17-point advantage, 24-7 is your halftime score. Columbus on top. Earlier tonight, Scott, Lady Falcons defeated Oxford by 32 to punch their ticket to the state playoffs next week. We know for a fact they'll host at least one game. We'll find out if it'll be a game on Monday or a game on Friday. Falcons now trying to join their Lady Falcon teammates and counterparts in doing that same thing. It would be super neat if we could have 2 home games for both the Falcons and Lady Falcons in Columbus next week.
And certainly the two teams have combined what it is to win 38 games, I believe it is, coming into this tonight. That's correct, 38 wins coming into tonight. Been a very successful season. The neat thing about the Lady Falcons, not a senior on the roster, so this is a 2-year process for them. And then, of course, the Columbus squad, you've got some newcomers, some transfers that are seniors. The team was heavy senior-oriented a year ago. Basically, this is the third straight year the Columbus boys have had a lot of seniors. And Coach Carlisle's come in and blended Aaron Johnson, transfer from Texas. Casey Smith, transfer from West Lowndes. R.J. DeLoach, transfer from Columbus Christian. Obviously, with already there, Woodard and Denaje Harris. And it took a little while for it to come together, and we all knew that it would. It's not going to happen instantly when you're dealing with so many new players. And regardless of the talent level of Woodard and Harris, a new coach is going to do things differently. That's just how it is. And you're going to, it's a whole new concept. You're still trying to score, try to put the ball through the basket, but you're going to do things differently. And it has taken a while for this team to come together, but in the last 4 or 5 weeks, they've been playing some excellent basketball. And you see what Coach Carlisle's DNA is. It's on the defensive end. He wants to smother you, embarrass you, limit your chances, basically frustrate you, and then let the offense come from that. The last 2 Columbus teams, Coach Riley and then Gary Griffin a year ago, it was more an up-tempo, we're going to force the issue on the offensive end. This team does not do that. They let the offense come to them, and they let it come out of the defense.
They are certainly okay with scoring only 24 first-half points if they limit their opponent to less than 10 points. They are making their living on the defensive end, no question about it. 17-point halftime lead for Columbus. Time for one final halftime break. We'll come back in 2 minutes with the second half. Columbus on top of South Panola. This is Columbus Basketball, 91.1 WMSV. The programming heard on WMSV 91.1 FM is brought to you in part through support from the Columbus Municipal School District. For information on the Columbus schools or for events happening at the schools, visit columbuscityschools.org. One team, one Columbus.
They say that car crashes happen in slow motion. The reality is that crashes happen fast. There's no time to think and no time to check if your child is in the right car seat. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your kids in the right seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Get more info at safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Wound Healing and Hyperbaric Center at OCH Regional Medical Center offers state-of-the-art specialized wound care. The center provides a variety of clinical treatments, therapies, and support services to treat chronic, non-healing wounds. Our specially trained team of wound care experts evaluates each patient individually and creates a customized plan of care. If you're suffering from a non-healing wound, you're not alone. We can help. Call on the OCH Wound Healing and Hyperbaric Center. The healing starts here.
Fred Migliori brings you music with a heart and brain and interviews with spirit. Each week on FM Odyssey, Sundays at 1 p.m. on 91.1 WMSV.
Are you ready to gain a global perspective in the agribusiness industry? The new online Master of Agribusiness Management at Mississippi State University, a university internationally recognized as a leader in agribusiness, can get you started. Their accredited online program provides high-quality instruction that grooms students for advanced careers in farm production, food manufacturing and distribution, product marketing, retail, forestry, and agricultural lending, all on a schedule that works for you. To learn more about this and all of their online programs, you can visit distance.msstate.edu. Hail State.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14.
13?
We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted. He realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
And we're back just in time for the start of the third quarter. Columbus on top of South Panola 24-7 after a dominating first half performance, especially on defense. Tigers have ball possession to begin the third quarter as they try to build off the momentum they got. A little bit of a momentum bump at the end of the first half, a 3 at the buzzer to make it a 24-7 ball game. Columbus comes out in straight-up man defense this trip to open up the third quarter. Long opening possession for the Tigers. The Tigers have their normal starting 5 minus Carlton, who already has 4 fouls. He will start on the bench in this third quarter. A minute-long possession for South Panola as they try to find someone open inside, trying to not settle for a 3.
Saw him keep it one time 13 minutes before scoring the touchdown.
We were all witnesses that night. Yeah. Ball knocked away by Woodard, out of bounds. Woodard got tired of waiting, decided to try to force the issue. Knocked it out. South Panola retains possession. Opening possession still going on. Inbounds to Thomas. Thomas to Ford, top of the key. Ford directs traffic. Goes to his right. Bounce pass to Thomas. Thomas being guarded by Deloach. Picks up his dribble and gets back to Ford. Ford now going to his left. Looking. Goes baseline to Thomas.
I'm so good with this.
Thomas and Ford eating up clock. Jumper on the way. No good. Long rebound goes out to Harris for Columbus. He wants to run. Down low to Johnson. Lots of contact. Johnson's layup no good, but he is fouled hard. And the foul will go against South Panola. You didn't mind the 2-minute long first possession.
No, we're good with that.
Foul whistled on Hicks, rather. Johnson at the line for Columbus. First foul on Hicks. First team foul of the half. And Johnson's free throw is good. Aaron Johnson now with 3 points tonight. 2 in the first half. Now 1 here in the second half, looking for more. Second free throw is up, and it is good. So Johnson goes 2 for 2. He has 4 points. Our first points for either team in this third quarter. Falcons on top by 19, 26-7. They get the inbounds pass stolen. Woodard had it for a moment, then he threw it away, looking for Smith. And now South Panola almost throws it away, and Woodard, trying to go for the steal, commits the foul. And that'll be the first foul on Columbus. First foul on Woodard. Not many fouls called on Columbus in the first half. South Panola down by 19. They'll get it across half court. Trapped, and the ball stolen. Woodard has it. Outlet to Harris. Harris goes for the layup and drops it in. 2 points for Denijay Harris. He has 6 tonight, and the Falcons are on top big, 28-7, and a backcourt violation. South Panola got it into the front court and then quickly threw it back to Thomas. Problem was Thomas is still in the backcourt. Turnover, and here we go. Falcons inbound it right in front of our scores table. Smith has it. He's driving. He's being cut off and being fouled. Was trying a bounce pass to Johnson, and Johnson was wide open for a slam, but Smith being fouled beforehand. And that foul will go against Ford, his first, team's second in this third quarter. And we have another whistle. This time just the ball knocked out of bounds. Columbus retains possession. Inbound under the basket out to Harris. Down inside to Smith. He goes back out. Now gives to Woodard. Woodard just inside the arc. Jumper is good. Nice looking shot from Robert Woodard. He has 2 more points. His first points this half. South Panola quickly gets it into the front court and throws it away. Smith with the steal. Floater in the lane, no good. Put back though from Aaron Johnson is good. And Aaron Johnson cleans up the glass, and all of a sudden, Scott, 25-point lead.
Yeah, first 8 of the third quarter here for the Falcons.
South Panola, 3 on the way, no good. Ford took it from the right wing, too short. Long rebound, outlet out to Smith. He goes strong to the hoop, misses the shot. He's being fouled though from behind. Third foul of the half on South Panola. Cathy, the guilty party, his second foul. 2 shots coming up for Smith. 32-7, Falcons on top. Free throw is up and rims in and falls through. Casey Smith, his first points of the third quarter. He now has 9. Looking to make it double figures. Free throw is up and it's good. So Smith having himself a nice ball game, offensively and defensively.
So that's 2 field goals now through 2.5 quarters for South Panola in the game.
That's good defense,
Scott. It is.
Another steal. Outlet to Harris. He cannot get the shot to fall, but he was being fouled hard by Thomas. Not sure Thomas made any attempt at the basketball there. That, at a different level of basketball, that may have been called an intentional foul, but we'll let it go here. And Harris will go to the free throw line. First one's up and good. Denijay Harris now with 7 points in the game. Meanwhile, for South Panola, Ford and Porter will come, or Ford and Brooks rather, come off the court. Carlton comes on with 4 fouls, as does Jackson. Free throw is up and good. Harris goes 2 for 2. And we have timeout on the court, a full timeout. We'll take it with them. Columbus 36, South Panola 7. With just over 4 to go third quarter. This is Columbus Basketball, 91.1 WMSV.
Your net password is the key to unlock online resources and services. phishing email attempts to trick you into revealing your net password and other personal information. Guard your net password by never sharing it with anyone. Remember, ITS or MSU will never ask for your net password.
Our score here at South Panola is Columbus 36 and South Panola 7, a 29-point advantage. And we saw, Scott, just about 2 weeks ago, a game here in which Columbus won by a score of 56-23. And it looks like we are headed for something even more convincing than that perhaps tonight.
Indeed, South Panola with 2 field goals so far in the ball game. They have not scored here in the second half. And Columbus has just been sensational on the defensive end.
They force another steal, but then turn it over themselves, trying to keep it in bounds. Tigers bounce pass to Jackson. Jackson, baseline jumper, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's coming our way, and it will be saved by Woodard. Nope, they're going to say Columbus went over and back. Backcourt violation. Woodard did save it, but he saved it into Smith, who was still in the backcourt. So good hustle by Woodard, although it ends up in a Columbus turnover, technically. Under 4 to go, third quarter. The Tigers break the press. Porter to Thomas. Cross court to Carlton. Carlton drives in. We have a whistle, and we have a charge. And that will be the 5th foul on Carlton. And that's it. Carlton has fouled out and only played about a minute and a half in the third quarter. And he will sit on the bench the remainder of the night. 36-7, Columbus on top. 3.5 to go. Smith gets it across half court. He drives the lane, kicks out to Harris. He gives to Woodard, 3 on the way, rims out, no good. Johnson, though, offensive rebound. And he kicks out to Smith for a reset. Aaron Johnson very active tonight on the boards. 3:15 to go, third quarter. Woodard simply loses the basketball out of bounds. Got a pass from Smith, not the greatest pass, but Woodard should have held on and couldn't. Turnover. The Tigers have it. They get it across half court. Ford into the corner. Now back out to Carlton for a reset. Over to Porter. Cathy has it in the corner. He's double teamed. He gets it out of there. Now back to Cathy. Down low to Jackson. Reverse hook, no good. Defensive rebound grabbed by Harris. Outlet to Smith. Jumper in transition, no good. Trying to save it, and saving it inbounds is Johnson. Columbus maintains possession. 2.5 to go, third quarter, up by 29 points. Smith will leave it for King. Hands it off to Woodard. Woodard now to Smith. Smith being guarded closely. Kicks out to Woodard. Baseline drive. Layup no good, but Robert will draw the foul. Nice job by Robert Woodard. Strong move, baseline move to the basket. And the foul will go against Porter. That's his first, team's 6th foul. 2 free throws for Robert Woodard. First is up and no good. 7 points tonight for Robert Woodard. Free throw is up. And it rims around and drops in. So Woodard gets the shot to drop. His 3rd point of this third quarter. Denaje Harris comes off and gets a breather. And Tyron Johnson comes onto the court for Columbus. South Panola, ball possession. Ford is trapped. He finds Jackson. His floater rims in and then back out. No good. But then offensive rebound is grabbed by Porter. The Tigers have the reset. Carlton to Ford. Ford, top of the key. Under 2 to go, third quarter, all Columbus. They're on top by 30. Into the corner, Carlton will pick up his dribble, tries to find Jackson, stolen by Woodard. Woodard, outlet to Johnson, knocked out of bounds, last touched by Salpanola. It's a good idea by Woodard trying to get the ball to Aaron Johnson, who was a cutter on that play. Now Johnson inbounds out deep to Tyron Johnson. Down low to Woodard. He backs up his defender, Cathy, turns around but then misses the layup. And the Tigers grab the rebound. Cathy, left side, he goes to Ford. Ford calls a set. A minute and a half to go, third quarter. 37-7. Columbus on top. Inside of Jackson, he's being fouled by Tyron Johnson. And this will be just foul number 2 this half for Columbus, so no foul shots. Columbus wants to get Deloach back in the ball game. He'll give Woodard a breather. Not a very smooth game tonight for Woodard offensively. Meanwhile, inbounds pass goes to Carlton, or actually goes to Thomas rather, and Thomas buries a 3 from the corner off to the right side. Second 3 tonight for Thomas. He has 6 of the Tigers' 10 points. Now a minute left, third quarter, 37-10, Columbus on top. And Columbus right now wants to run some clock as the Tigers extend their man defense. Smith has it between the circles. He goes right side to Deloach. Deloach to Tyron Johnson, who quickly gives the ball right back to Deloach. Every time Tyron Johnson gets it, he's being double teamed. He almost throws it away, and then Columbus does throw it away. So Tyron Johnson gave the ball to King, and then King drove inside and threw it to no one. Turnover with 25.9 on the clock, third quarter. The Tigers have it. They get it across half court and a travel. The Tigers got it across half court, gave it to Jackson in the middle. And Jackson simply took a step, didn't dribble. And a turnover right back to Columbus. 22.4 to go third quarter.
Well, I guess Anthony Carlisle's going to be happy. He's going to have 3 single-digit
he will.
quarters.
At least 3.
That is what we're going to do.
Oh, wow.
Post-game, he will be quick to point that out.
The defense has been excellent. Smith has it, 10 to go in the third quarter. Woodard back on the court, drives inside, kicks out to Aaron Johnson. 3 from the corner, no good. Offensive putback is good from Robert Woodard. Second time in the ball game tonight that Woodard at the buzzer has grabbed a rebound and slammed it through. And Robert Woodard puts an exclamation point on this third quarter, 39-10. Doing it once is impressive. Doing it twice is pretty fantastic.
Indeed.
Let's take a break. We'll come back in 30 seconds as we go to the fourth quarter. 39-10. Falcons in control. This is Columbus Basketball, 91.1 WMSV. We now begin the fourth quarter of play. 39-10. Columbus on top. Alongside Scott Walters, I'm Anthony Craven. And this one is following, I think, Scott, the script that we thought it would.
Yeah, we kind of knew this might happen coming into the arena.
Harris drives inside, ball knocked loose out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by Harris. I thought it was knocked out from behind, but turnover. Tigers have it. 3 in transition from Jackson, no good. Long rebound, though, goes out to Thomas. His 3, no good. And Woodard claims the defensive rebound for Columbus.
If Columbus wins this tournament, they would need 4 wins to win the state championship, is what that means. And the bottom line is this: you're going to have to be extremely disciplined to beat Columbus.
Yes.
You're going to have to make shots from the outside, and you're going to have to be extremely disciplined.
And patient. Because they will make your life very difficult when you're on offense. Harris off the rebound, draws the foul. They're going to whistle Thomas on the foul, his first. Team 7th, 1-1. Free throw up, no good. Harris grabs the rebound offensively. He's being fouled again. This time they're going to get number 10, Porter. That's his second foul, team's 8th, and a chance at some redemption for Denai J. Harris, who just missed the front end. Sub comes in for South Panola as number 20, Sturdivant, will step onto the court for the first time tonight. Free throw up, and Harris makes this one. He'll get a second opportunity coming up. 3 made free throws tonight for Denai J. Harris to go along with 3 made field goals. Now make it 4 made free throws. (41-10), Falcons on top. 7 minutes left. South Panola almost throws it away. They save it inbounds. Ford at the point guard spot because Carlton has fouled out. He was the starting point guard. Drives to his right. Down low to Cathy. Ball knocked away. Stolen by Woodard. The outlet, though, is a bad pass, but Smith saves it for Columbus. But then Aaron Johnson commits a traveling violation. Tyron Johnson and Greg King will come into the ball game for Columbus, replacing Robert Woodard and Denai J. Harris. And also McCrary comes in, replacing Smith. So 3 subs onto the court. Now the question is for Columbus, who do you want to rest now the final 6.5 minutes? Tigers have ball possession. Sturdivant to Cathy. Into the corner to Ford. Ford back out to Sturdivant. Left side he goes to Thomas. Thomas, far side corner for Cathy. Back out to Sturdivant. Around the horn go the Tigers. Looking for an open shot. Just over 6 to play. Baseline drive. Jumper no good. Rims out. Putback though is good from Hicks. So Hicks gets into the scoring column, his first bucket tonight. And then Columbus turns it over. McCrary travels to the basketball. Boy, traveling has been an issue tonight for the Falcons. 6 minutes left, 41-12. Columbus in control. Heading for a championship game berth on Friday. Panola has it. Down low, Thomas, his drive cut off. Knight throws the ball away. Stolen by Deloach. Who would you expect the Falcons will see on Friday, Oxford or Tupelo?
I would say Tupelo, but I would not say it with any conviction.
Gotcha.
Yes. It should be an excellent ball game coming up tonight on the late shift.
You and I will be long home.
We will.
By then.
We will.
Columbus goes around the horn. They're going to use some clock this possession. 5 minutes left. They're up by 29 points. Using some reserves on the court right now, including McCrary, who just touched it. Left side he goes to Deloach. Deloach has his pass stolen by Sturdivant, who lays it up and in. So Sturdivant jumped the passing lane and got the layup on the other end. So 4 points this quarter for the Tigers after only 3 points the entire third quarter. 4.5 to go, 41-19 the score, Falcons on top. McCrary directs traffic, Cross court to Deloach, right side to Aaron Johnson. Whistle away from the basketball. And we're going to have an illegal screen, I think.
That's correct.
Called on Tyron Johnson. That'll be the third foul on Columbus. That'll be Tyron Johnson's first foul. Fouls no issue tonight for Columbus as a team or individually. 3 on the way for South Panola, missed by Thomas. Defensive rebound grabbed by Aaron Johnson. He hands the ball to King. King will calmly walk it across half court. Columbus in control, in no hurry. 4 minutes to go, up 41-19. 3 on the way from the left wing, and it's good from Fred Sparks. Fred's first attempt, and he nails it. And Columbus now 44-19 on top.
44-14.
44-14, thank you. I gotta learn to read only that scoreboard to our left. Spin move in the lane, shot missed for the Tigers by Hicks, but he draws the foul. 4th team foul on Columbus. And that'll be the second foul on Greg King. And that'll send Hicks to the line for 2. First free throw up and rims out, no good. His second free throw's coming up. Looking for his 3rd point tonight. And he gets it. So Hicks makes 1 of 2. We have a sub for South Panola. Cathy comes out and Brooks comes in. So South Panola, already a guard-oriented team, goes even smaller now when they take out Cathy and bring on Brooks with 3.5 to go. Sparks dribbles to his right, hands off to McCrary, gives to King. King drives into the lane, leaves it for Johnson, who is being fouled as he goes up strong for a baseline layup. It's no good, but 2 free throws coming up. 9th team foul on South Panola. Foul whistled on number 3. Hicks, his second. First free throw is up, and it is good from Tyron Johnson. Second free throw up, too hard. Loose ball, fight for the rebound. Who has it? Columbus has it. Sparks will come out of there with it, and he will give to Johnson. That's Aaron Johnson. We have both Johnsons, Aaron and Tyron, on the court right now. The ball now in the hands of Greg King. Left side he goes to Aaron Johnson, who drives baseline out to Sparks. 3 on the way, too short. Long rebound though goes out to Sparks, and he gives to King for the reset. Under 3 to go. Down low to Tyron Johnson. Layup is good, and the Falcons are on top 47-15. Tyron Johnson now with 5 points. South Panola down low to Hicks, who loses the basketball. Stolen by Columbus. The outlet goes to Sparks. He is being fouled from behind as he goes up for the layup. And we have a play stoppage, and now Columbus wants to get some more reserves in. Jamarcus Moore comes in, replacing Aaron Johnson. The refs actually say clean block, no foul, so a clean block. So Columbus will simply inbound the basketball. They do so to King, who gives to McCrary. Just over 2 to play. McCrary goes inside, but illegal. Yes, illegal screen. I thought it was. Had to wait though for the ref's call. Offensive foul against Brooks, who who just came into the ball game. His first, team's 5th. South Panola has ball possession. 2:08 to go. They trail 47-15. Tigers go top of the key to Thomas. Thomas now inside, out to Sturdivant. Back out to Brooks. Brooks 3 on the way, no good. Rebound grab by Moore. So Moore, a reserve forward, will grab his first rebound of the basketball game. Falcons have it. They also have on the court right now essentially all backups, including the freshman Blake Burnett. Have not seen Blake Burnett on the court in some time. He loses the basketball. Panola wants to run. They do run. Layup no good, but drawing the foul is number 11, Ford. And he will head to the free throw line. That it'll be the 6th foul on Columbus. And they whistle Sparks with the foul, his first. Couple of free throws here coming for Ford. First one is no good. Tyron Johnson comes out, and coming in for Columbus is number 30, Grays. Second free throw also no good. Moore grabs the rebound for Columbus, and he's being fouled. And he'll get 2 free throws, because that is foul number 10 on South Panola. 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Foul was called on Thomas, his second. Moore at the free throw line. First free throw is good. So Jamarcus Moore gets into the scoring column. His second free throw is up. The lefty is unable to make that one. He goes 1 of 2. 48-15 the score. 1 minute remaining. South Panola trapped in the far side corner, loses the basketball out of bounds. Last touch though by Columbus. I think Moore last touched the basketball. And I believe we have a timeout on the floor, and we do.
You said that the same way you say, Abdul, I do. We do, and I do.
A 30-second timeout, so we'll keep things right here. Congrats in order to the Falcons. They did what they had to do. Falcons and Lady Falcons. They came to Batesville, took care of business.
Yeah, we've got Denijah Harris and Robert Woodard and Casey Smith, each with 10 points tonight. And yeah, Falcons have certainly exerted their will in this contest, but again, it starts on the defensive end. 4 points first quarter, 3 second and third, and then 5 here in the fourth.
Tigers inbound the basketball. Spin move, jump hook, no good for Hicks. Offensive rebound though, kick out, 3 on the way, no good as Thomas missed everything. And Columbus has it with under a minute to go. And the Falcons may want to hold and run the clock out, or the freshmen and sophomores on the court may want to jack up a shot or two. We'll see how they want to play it out. On top by 33 as the game will come to a close. Inside, and charging is the call. An inside drive for Tyrese Jones, a junior, small forward, 6'2", and Tyrese just could not control his momentum and commits the foul, his first, team's 7th. 22.1 seconds left in the game. The Tigers inbound it. Sturdivant into the corner. Ford, a 3 baseline, no good. Air ball. Rebound grab by Columbus. 10 seconds, and they throw it away. Trying to run the clock out, and they threw the ball away off the scorer's table, and South Panola will have now the final possession. 5.9 seconds remaining. Columbus wants to get number 30, Grays, back into the ball game. So he'll come on. South Panola inbounds to Sturdivant. Down low they go to Hicks. Ball knocked away. Stolen by Columbus. And that's your ball game. Final score 48-15. And even more dominating defensive effort from Columbus. first and second time that these two teams played, Scott, earlier in the season.
Columbus certainly playing really well here the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Coach Carlisle said his team would really have its identity by the end of January after playing a very difficult non-region schedule, playing a couple of prestigious out-of-state tournaments. It was just a matter of putting every